The Untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing games are missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, buenos dias, buenos dias, buenos dias. Good morning to everyone out there. Shout out to you. Hope everybody's doing good. Hope everybody's doing well. You know, if you're waking up, if you're on your way to work, God bless you. You know, if you whatever you're doing right now, just God bless you. I hope everybody's good, man. I'm feeling all right today. I'm feeling good. You know, just woke up, did my little workout this morning, and now we're here, man. We're here talking boxing, and that's what it is. So a shout out to everybody here. Make sure you guys smash that like button. If you're watching the playback, smash that like button. Whatever you're doing, smash that like button, man, and definitely subscribe if you're new to the channel. Anyway, before I get into what I want to get into, because I have quite a lot to talk about, because that's why I couldn't just pick one thing to title this live. There's so much I want to talk about. There's so much I want to touch on. This might be an hour and a half or 2-hour live. I'm not sure how long it's going to take. But, you know, I have a lot I do want to touch on. So I'm going to get into that in a second. But before I do, make sure you guys tune in later tonight. I'm going to be live for the Showbox card. There's a card tonight on Showtime. It'll be Showbox. The main event is going to be Saul Sanchez versus Jericho Quinn. Now, Jericho Quinn, you know, undefeated fighter, you know, been fighting at super flyweight, moving up the bantamweight to take on Saul Sanchez, who's like 16-1. So should be a good fight. You know, got a couple of decent prospects on the undercard, like Otar, who trains here in South Florida. So I'll be live for that. Make sure you guys join me and Pops later on, and we'll definitely get to that. Before I get into the actual, you know, everything I want to touch on, let me get to this comment from my boy, Brendan Smith. Good morning, Brendan. How you doing, champ? He says, why is everyone saying that Caleb Plant has no chance? Because people don't know shit about boxing, Brendan. You know, Roger Mayweather, you know, rest in peace to Roger. I had the chance to meet Roger once. You know, Roger Mayweather said it best. Most motherfuckers don't know shit about boxing. And when it comes to this fight, that is on full display. So I'm gassed. I can't wait for it. November 6th, Caleb Plant is going to just beat the brakes off Canelo. It's going to be easy fight. 117, 111. I can't wait. Usam Fanboy Killer says, what's up? Caleb is going to whoop that ass. You damn right, champ. You damn right. And we're definitely behind Caleb Plant, and we're definitely supporting him here on True School Sports. But listen, man, I have a lot I'm going to touch on, you know, so bear with me. Caleb Plant and Canelo is part of what I'm going to touch on, so we'll get to that at some point. But I wanted to start with the fight tomorrow, because there is a good fight on tomorrow, a big fight on tomorrow. You know, Anthony Joshua is taking on Alexander Usyk, and that's kind of been lost in translation because the attention of the boxing world has been strictly on Caleb Plant, strictly on Canelo Alvarez, and what happened at the press conference. And people have forgotten about what happened with that there's actually boxing a big-time fight this weekend in the heavyweight division. You know, we got Anthony Joshua in his third fight since beating Andy Ruiz, his third fight since losing to Andy Ruiz in the first fight, taking on what's been his stiffest test since the first loss of his career against Alexander Usyk, a guy that's looking to make his own history, a guy that is coming in who doesn't know how to lose. Let's get it right. Alexander Usyk does not know how to lose. He doesn't know how to lose. Undisputed champion, gold medalist in the amateurs, just a guy that is a special talent, a special fighter. And they actually had their weigh-in right before I went live. These two had their weigh-in, and the weights are in. Joshua comes in at a slim and trim, 240 pounds. Usyk comes in at the heaviest weight of his entire career. He comes in at 221.25 pounds. So, you know, Alexander Usyk, it'll be very intriguing to see how Usyk carries the weight. It'll be very intriguing to see how Usyk, you know, moves around with all that weight on him, because we're not accustomed to seeing Usyk so damn heavy. At the same time, Joshua, I believe his last fight when he fought Pulev, he was 240 pounds. So if he's 240 now and he's fighting Usyk, then I think it'll be interesting to see, you know, Joshua, who's fighting at a lower weight, Usyk fighting at a higher weight. What kind of effect does this have? You know, I feel kind of like, I feel very iffy about my pick. You know, my initial pick for this fight was Anthony Joshua. I think Anthony Joshua has matured enough as a heavyweight to definitely outbox and eventually knock out Usyk in the fight. But you know, as the fight gets closer, I'm kind of having second thoughts. I don't know. I get this feeling about Usyk. I'm gonna stick to my pick, and I'm gonna go with Joshua. But it's a great fight. I see we got a couple comments. Shout out to my boy Jesus. What's up, Jesus? How do I grade the card? The card between Joshua and Usyk, it's not a great card. I'll be honest with you. It's actually kind of trash, if I'm being honest. You know, you got Lawrence Okoli. I don't even know who he's fighting, but the guy he's fighting is a mismatch. There's not really one particular like standout fight on the card. So if I had to grade it, I would give it a C minus, maybe C minus, C, something like that. You know, shout out to my guy JTL. Joshua knocks down Usyk. Fury knocks out Wilder. Helene knocks out Kanaki, and White versus Otto Wallin goes to a decision. Absolutely. And I could definitely see a scenario where Otto Wallin gets a decision, you know. But yeah, Joshua Usyk, you know, just in case you're tuning in, they have weighed in. Joshua comes in at 240, which is, you know, a little bit lower than people are, which is about, you know, it's lighter than we're accustomed to seeing him. Usyk comes in at a slim, at a freaking massive for him, because he's pushing about 6'3". So Usyk has like the old heavyweight dimension, 6'3", 220. You know, that's what heavyweights used to be, 6'3", 220, something like that. So we'll see how he carries the weight, but it's a good fight, and it's definitely, to me, the way I see it, this is the stiffest test Anthony Joshua has had since his first loss to Andy Ruiz, and we're gonna really find out where the mental fortitude of Anthony Joshua is at, and if he's truly as great as many people think he is, he'll get the job done and do it in spectacular fashion against Alexander Usyk. And it's gonna be a momentous occasion. You know, they're fighting at the new Tottenham Stadium, and it's a great venue, and I'm sure it'll create a very ruckus atmosphere. They're expecting upwards of like 70,000 people there, so it's gonna be a really, really fun time. And yeah, man. Sade Loading says, I don't see Fury knocking out Wilder. Oh, wait, to each his own. You know, personally, look, I think Tyson Fury gonna beat the brakes off Wilder. I'm talking about he's gonna fold up Deontay Wilder like he's like a blue steel chair. He's gonna beat Deontay Wilder again like he stole something. But I'm hoping. Listen, I'm crossing my fingers, because contrary to popular belief, I'm not a Deontay Wilder hater. I would like to see Deontay Wilder become the best version of himself and make this a entertaining fight, a competitive fight. But I just don't think mentally he's giving himself a chance. You know, he's not. He might be training hard. I give him that. Fair play to him. He's training. He's trying to make the adjustments. But if he can't accept his damn victory, or his defeat in the rematch, and he's still calling Tyson Fury a cheater, and he's having these illusions of grandeur, then he's never going to move on to the next stage of his career. He's going to get fucking knocked out again. But, you know, we'll see what happens October 9th. October 9th, he's got a chance to prove people like me wrong. And listen, you guys know, if I'm wrong, if a fighter proves me wrong, I'm more than happy to say, you know what, I was wrong. Credit to him, you know. But I have a strange feeling that won't be the case with Deontay the Bronzeman Wilder. You know what I'm saying? Fury has been stalling the fight. Well, we'll see what happens. They got a date. Date is October 9th. It don't matter if it would have happened in July or whatever. It would have happened now. Deontay Wilder's going to lose either way. He hasn't beaten Tyson Fury yet. He ain't beat him yet. You know? He ain't beat him yet. So I don't understand. People see Deontay Wilder, you know, with Malik Scott, and all of a sudden they think he's a 6'7" Thomas Hitman Hearns. You know, we'll see we'll see what's gonna happen come fight night. That's all that matters. The boxing ring is the chamber of truth. You can get into the gossip, you can get into the tabloids, you can get into what you think happened, what people are saying, and the hype and the hoopla. But at the end of the day, if Deontay Wilder wants to change the narrative, he's gonna have a chance to change the narrative come October 9th under the lights, you know, in Las Vegas. So, you know, hey, best of luck to him. But listen, man. Obviously, the big talk in boxing right now is the Caleb Plant Canelo fight. The Caleb Plant Canelo fight, to me, is the most interesting fight in boxing. I'm gonna tell you why. The Caleb Plant Canelo fight, for me, is the most interesting fight in boxing. And I'm gonna do that. But before I do that, I want to get to this whole thing about Canelo not understanding the meaning of the word motherfucker. You know, Caleb Plant called Canelo a motherfucker, all right? And Canelo all of a sudden doesn't understand the meaning of the word, right? He doesn't understand the meaning of the word. But just, what was it? We're in September. Just 4 months ago, after the Billy Joe Saunders fight, he was throwing around the word motherfucker like it was nothing. And he disrespected Paul Andrade and Demetrius Andrade. And people, and I find it funny, right? Like, I find it funny. People, when Canelo started saying motherfucker to Demetrius Andrade and Paul Andrade, people said, oh my God, this is hilarious. And I agree, it was funny, but people will say, oh, it was funny. It's so great that Canelo is showing his personality. This is great for boxing, all this stuff, right? And they didn't keep that same energy. Now all of a sudden, a guy accuses Canelo Alvarez for being a PED drug cheat, and all of a sudden we gotta start talking about how, oh well, the word translates different. It translates different in Latino culture and Hispanic culture. All of a sudden it's different. So my thing is this: if that's the case, let's just say Canelo Alvarez doesn't truly understand the meaning of the word motherfucker, but he knows it's bad. He knows it's a bad word, and that's why he's saying it. Okay, if you know it's not a good word to say, and you get offended by it, then why would you say it to another man? Listen, in life, you reap as you sow. So if Canelo Alvarez doesn't want to be called a motherfucker, he should be calling other people motherfuckers. Hey, he's talking about, oh, he disrespected my mother, he crossed the line. But where was the respect for Demetrius Andrade's mom? There was no respect. So all this bullshit, all these narratives that the Canelo fans want to talk about, oh, where's the honor? Where's the respect? Man, listen, Canelo Alvarez has never been about honor and respect. If there's one fighter in boxing that's never been about honor and respect, it's Canelo Alvarez, man. The guy fought at a catchweight for his first world title and couldn't even make the damn catchweight that he put in the damn contract. So this is the type of individual we're dealing with. But look, I'm excited for this fight for so many reasons. The reason I'm excited for this fight because I think Caleb Plant, he's really rattled the boxing industry, and the way I see this fight, it's like Caleb Plant is the ultimate, like he's the ultimate underdog. I don't see him as an underdog. I think the fight is very competitive style-wise, but I'm saying like the perception is that he's this massive underdog, right? And now he's going up against like the biggest money-making machine. He's going up against the biggest money-making machine the sport has to offer. He's going up against the establishment. So I feel like this is like monumental stuff we're gonna witness. This is probably gonna be out of all the big-time fights that happened this year. This fight, I truthfully believe, will be the one in boxing this year that moves the needle the most, because what's going on with Canelo Plant, you can't buy, you can't manufacture, you can't, make up. It's genuine animosity. Canelo Alvarez doesn't like Caleb Plant because Canelo Alvarez is used to his opponents, bowing down to him as a god of some sorts. He's used to his opponents just being happy to be in the ring, just being happy to get a payday. And truthfully, and we can say this now that they've had a press conference, Caleb Plant don't give a fuck about none of that. He don't care about the payday. He don't care about Canelo. He don't care about none of his accomplishments. As far as I'm concerned, if it came down to it, I'm sure Caleb Plant would tell Canelo Alvarez to stick all of his world titles up his ass, because that's how little he cares. So, I just find it funny. I just find it funny how all of a sudden Canelo Alvarez doesn't understand the meaning of the word, but then he was quick to say it. He was quick to pull the trigger and flap his gums when it came to Demetrius Andrade. So listen, I can't wait, because Canelo's gonna come in the ring angry. I feel like the first 3 to 4 rounds, Canelo Alvarez will try to get Caleb Plant out of there if he can. If he closes that gap, I think he's gonna try to get Caleb Plant out of there. And then if he's not able to do it, then I think Caleb Plant's chances of winning the back half of the fight dramatically go up. So it's gonna be a great fight, man. Listen. I'm gonna be in Las Vegas. I'm gonna be in Las Vegas. I'm leaving for Las Vegas in late October. So I'll be there about 2 weeks, about a week and a half to 2 weeks before the fight. So hey, we're gonna go. I'm gonna go and interview the Canelo fans, all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my guy Jamil Parker, YSM Sports Media. Make sure you guys subscribe to my guy Jamil Parker from YSM Sports Media. He's doing a great job covering the Philadelphia the Philadelphia boxing scene, Jaron Ennis. He's been interviewing the prospects like Jabril Noble, who I just seen fight for the first time this past weekend. Just a really good channel, good guy. I got nothing bad to say about him. Go check him out. Jamil also says, BT, everything is pointing towards Fury getting knocked out, getting stopped. Hey, we'll see, man. I don't think so. I just think, look, there comes times in boxing where, some fighters just have the other fighter's number, and I think that's the case with Fury versus Wilder. Now I'm not gonna cap. Some of these training videos, Deontay Wilder does look improved. He does look like he's doing some different things, but we don't know how he's gonna react under the lights when he gets touched. So hey, I'm gonna hold true to my pick, and I'm gonna say Tyson Fury still beats him. But I would like for Deontay Wilder to make this as competitive as a fight as possible because I want to see great fights. I think Presidential Luke says, I think Canelo intended to disrespect Boo Boo's mother. Well, then, hey, then that shows you what kind of individual he is. That shows you what kind of individual Canelo is. If he's taking offense to it like that, then he can't get mad when when the shoe is on the other foot. You can't get mad. It's like if the old saying is if you can't take it, don't dish it out. If you're able to dish it, you gotta be able to take it as well. So if he's willing to call another man's mother, disrespect another man's mother by calling them a motherfucker, because that's what culturally, that's how it translates to him, and he doesn't truly feel, he doesn't understand the context of how we use that in urban American culture. Then he has to be willing to take the insult of his mother being a motherfucker in return. And if you don't want to do that, then you don't call another man. You don't say motherfucker to another man. That's just how it goes. So, oh my God. Salotello, what's good, champ? He says AJ versus Usyk isn't for the casual boxing fan. That makes no sense at all. Maybe in America. Like in America, I'll be honest. Like I haven't heard a lot of people talking about the fight that much in America. Obviously, Anthony Joshua is a big star worldwide, not as much of in America, but it's a good fight. To me, it's a big fight. I don't know how big it'll be in America, but I know worldwide it's a big fight because Joshua got the whole of the UK behind them. Usyk got Ukraine. Joshua also got a big fan base in Africa. So, I'm sure the fight's gonna do great ratings, and they're gonna sell, was it 70,000 tickets or whatever. So yeah. Slotello said, I see the Canelo fanboy make a video titled Canelo passes Mayweather with one more win. We are fucked as a society. Slotello. Look, man, I know exactly who you're talking about. I didn't watch that video, but I saw it in my recommendeds. And look, the guy that made that video, he's one of the biggest, most trash channels on all of YouTube. Somebody sent me a video of his one time, and I couldn't get through like 20 minutes or no, 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 30 seconds. Really, his voice is annoying, and he's a Canelo, pom-pom waver. But I agree with you, man. Anybody who's saying that like Canelo Alvarez can pass Floyd with this win is out of their damn mind. Like, first of all, Canelo absolutely got schooled by Floyd, like in the worst fashion. He fought an old ass Floyd Mayweather who was 36 years old on his way out. Floyd probably didn't even care about boxing like that towards the end of his career, and it still didn't matter. It was one of his easiest fights. I mean, Emmanuel Augustus Emmanuel Augustus gave Floyd a tougher fight. Jose Luis Castillo gave him a tougher fight. A lot of guys of perceived lesser caliber, lesser quality than Canelo gave Floyd a tougher fight. So I don't understand how he passes Mayweather when he already got schooled by him. And when has Canelo? Let me see. Yeah, Canelo hasn't knocked out no Hall of Famers. What Hall of Famers has he knocked out? I mean, at least Floyd stopped Diego Corrales. Has Canelo ever knocked out a fighter as good as Diego Corrales? I can't think of one. Y'all let me know. Y'all let me know if he has. Yeah, I know who it is, but I'm not giving him no clout. But I know who it is. BT, since you think Plant is going to win, are you giving Canelo credit for fighting Plant, or was it still a cherry pick? I never called it a cherry pick. When did you ever hear that come out of my mouth? I've never once called Caleb Plant a cherry pick for Canelo Alvarez. He gets credit for fighting him, but the thing is, he's got to fight him. I mean, he's got to fight him. He's won all the belts. It's a chance where he can become the first Mexican undisputed champion. So, he gets a little bit of credit. I've already told you, and I've told many times, the fight that would really, really get him a lot of credit from me is him fighting Demetrius Andrade, because that is literally the most unfavorable style matchup for him, and that would get him some credit. But until that's just gonna get him the ultimate credit just by fighting Andrade. He gets credit for this fight because truthfully, I didn't think he was to make the fight. I thought he was trying to duck him at one point. So I gotta at least give him enough credit as a man to sit down at the table, come to an agreement, and fight Caleb Plant. And he'll get credit. He'll get credit if he legitimately wins. Now, he has to legitimately beat Caleb Plant. If Caleb Plant outboxes him 9-3, 8-4, and we see one of those crazy 117, 111 scorecards come in, then guess what? I can't give him that. But if he goes in there and he breaks Caleb Plant down and outworks him and grinds him down to a decision and clearly wins the fight, then all credit. But he'll get credit for me for taking the fight. I've actually, what video was it? One of these videos I made about Canelo Plant, in the very beginning, I said I gave Canelo his credit for making the fight happen. So, I'm happy it's happening. It's, it takes two to tango. It is the biggest fight of the year, in my opinion. This is truthfully the first time, maybe since the second Golovkin fight, that any of the Canelo Alvarez fights have had that big fight pay-per-view feel. This fight has that big fight feel. And for those of you that have been watching boxing for a long time, you guys know what I'm talking about. Sometimes when they just throw fights on pay-per-view, but they don't feel like pay-per-view fights. This fight is different. This fight actually feels like it's worthy of that title of being a pay-per-view fight. Shout out to everybody here, man. Shout out to everybody. Keen Mitchell. Oh man, hey Keen. I had to hit him with he said, BT, what up? Shout out to the sponsors, Kool-Aid with no motherfucking sugar. Yes, Kool-Aid. Listen, man, this is always for Keen. I always play this when Keen comes in here. Listen, True School Sports and this live is unofficially sponsored by our sponsors. Jarrell Miller, Big Baby. Tell him who he's sponsored by.
Vienna sausage, cinnamon buns, Wonder Bread, Kool-Aid with no motherfucking sugar.
There you have it, man. Kool-Aid with no motherfucking sugar. Yeah, man. Shout out to you. Hope you're doing good, champ. Wacky movie clips, my boy John. I'm gonna read this last comment because look, I wrote on a piece of paper everything I want to talk about. So you guys see, I gotta talk about all these things before this live is over. So we're just gonna gradually get through all of them, and I'll be reading your comments and stuff. But make sure y'all smash that like button, super chat, all that good stuff. John says, "What's good, BT? What's your prediction on this Joshua Usyk fight?" Man, it's tough. I'm a fan of both fighters. Like, it's tough, man. I've made a lot of videos about Joshua and Usyk over the years. I like both of them. My initial pick was Joshua. I think Joshua will stop Usyk in the middle rounds. But as this fight gets closer, I don't know, man. Something about Usyk, man, is making me not be 100% confident in picking Joshua. But normally when I make predictions, I always stick with whatever my first prediction is. I always stick with the first one. So I'm gonna stick with Joshua, even though I'm starting to feel this little nudge to pick Usyk. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, y'all keep your comments coming in. I'm gonna just work my way down my paper of just topics that I wrote down, and I'll get you guys' comments as well. Shout out to everybody who's here, by the way. Good morning to you guys. God bless, and I hope, like, wherever you're at, if you're at work or you're on your way to work, wherever you're doing, I hope you're good. The next thing I wanted to talk about was this. Look, I haven't had a chance to talk about it at all. I haven't had a chance to do a video, so I figured I'd just talk about it in this live. Manny Pacquiao, he's officially retired from boxing. He's officially hung up the gloves and called it quits on a career. So I want to just, like, tip my cap to Manny Pacquiao on a great career. This wasn't too surprising because we all knew that Manny Pacquiao had those aspirations to go to the Philippines and run for president, and he's announced his running for presidency. So it would be hard to juggle being president of a country and boxing simultaneously. So, Manny Pacquiao, we appreciate you for your service. Thank you for all the great fights and all the great moments. Thank you for showing the world how that when you get knocked down and when you get knocked out, to get back up as a champion and you keep fighting and you get better and you still find ways to be victorious later in your career. You know, I kind of wish his last fight against Ugas, he didn't make a bunch of excuses for losing, but that doesn't you know, diminish what's been a remarkable career and a career that is, you know, definitely, you know, he should be in the Hall of Fame right now. He's retired, put him in the Hall of Fame right now. That's the kind of career he's had. 8 weight classes, you know, a world champion, great trilogies, great moments, beating up bigger guys, mega fights, just always pushing himself to the limit and trying to be the best fighter. And he's been, for the most part, a great ambassador for the sport of boxing and somebody that's helped carry the sport of boxing. So yeah, man, Manny Pacquiao, I'm gonna miss him, but I think this is for the best because, you know, he did look old overnight, but you know, hey, Manny Pacquiao made some history in his career. You know, became the oldest welterweight champion when he fought Keith Thurman. I'm still very appreciative of that fight. You know, so you know, farewell, Manny Pacquiao. I'll definitely be keeping an eye on what goes on with him. You never know. This is boxing. Sometimes these guys just don't know when to say when. So he could be retiring right now, but who's to say 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months from now, he don't get a bunch of money thrown at him and come back for a fight. So yeah, man, farewell, Manny Pacquiao. Just one of the greatest warriors that this sport will ever produce. And I'll say this. This would be my last statement on Pacquiao before I move on to the next topic because I don't want to spend too much time on Pacquiao. But Manny Pacquiao means a lot to me. As a boxing fan, he means everything to me because Manny Pacquiao was one of the fighters that when I was a kid that made me fall in love with boxing. You know, I remember I've got great memories back when I was living up north in New Hampshire, Massachusetts with my family up there. I have great memories of going to these cookouts with my family and these watch parties with my family. And Miguel, you know, my family's Puerto Rican. One side of my family is Puerto Rican. The other side is you know, Cuban, Dominican, whatever. But my family up north, you know, everybody's a big Miguel Cotto fan. So whenever Miguel Cotto would fight, you know, naturally they'd have Miguel Cotto watch parties. So I remember so clearly that when Manny Pacquiao was getting ready to fight Cotto, you know, there was a lot of debate between people in our family as to who would win. And I want to listen, I like Manny Pacquiao, so I was going for him to win. And I'll tell you this, man, just to see Manny Pacquiao and what he did to Cotto as a kid, that was special. That was something special to see. The Margarito fight, seeing big ass Margarito get pieced up by Manny Pacquiao. That's actually my favorite Manny Pacquiao fight. Seeing Margarito's big ass get pieced up at Cowboy Stadium by Manny Pacquiao. So yeah, man, Manny Pacquiao is one of the reasons why I think I love boxing so much. And Floyd as well. Floyd and Manny. I mean, Floyd, Manny, Cotto, these guys all played a role into, you know, the passionate boxing fan / analyst / journalist / interviewer / whatever you want to call it, YouTuber that you see in front of you today. So yeah, man, God bless Manny Pacquiao and just happy trails in retirement. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. There's no excuse for Canelo versus Plant to do solid interview numbers. Plant is the best opponent as of late, and it's for undisputed. Watch the chumps find a way to blame Showtime and PBC when those numbers are low. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I hope it does. I hope it does well. I really hope it does well. I just needed to know if Earl would have retired Manny Pacquiao respectfully. I mean, no matter whether we say yes, whether we say no, it's all just speculation. It's all speculation, you know? So, you know, you can say yes, you can say no, but it really doesn't matter. What chance do you give Canelo to beat Plant? I mean, listen, I think it's a pick'em fight. I think it's anybody's fight to win. I would say I got it 55-45. To me, in my mind, I pick Caleb Plant. So obviously, I would say I give Canelo Alvarez a 55% chance of winning. I'm going to make Canelo the slight favorite, but only the slight favorite. I'm picking the underdog, of course, but I'm making Canelo Alvarez a slight favorite because, you know, he's got the experience. He's got the big fight experience. He's fighting in Vegas. You know, he's got the judges on his side most of the time. So if those things hold true to form, you know, you got to make him at least a slight favorite. But 55%. But I'm going with the underdog. I'm going with the underdog. Let me see. John, Yo True School, what do you think are Pacquiao's top 3 wins in the past 10 years? So what, we're in 2021, so from 2011 on up. So I would say Timothy Bradley 3, because the Timothy Bradley 3 fight, the third Timothy Bradley fight, was a fight where you saw Manny Pacquiao and he was fighting a Bradley that really believed he could win. You know, he had just hooked up with Teddy Atlas. He became the first guy to knock out Brandon Rios, and a lot of people were thinking that was going to be kind of close. And for him to beat Bradley at that age as easily as he did, that was a big deal back then. In 2016. So I'll say Bradley 3. Keith Thurman. I mean that's self-explanatory. You know, he beat Keith Thurman, who was undefeated, younger fighter, prime fighter, to become the oldest welterweight champion in boxing history. So yeah, Bradley 3, Keith Thurman, and then I'll say, I'm trying to think who else is there. It's not Broner, not Matisse, it's not Jesse Vargas. Damn sure not Jesse Vargas. I'm trying to remember when was the Margarito fight? Because you're saying the last 10 years. I would just say both two of the Bradley wins and I like the 2 Bradley wins and Thurman. I'll go with that because I can't think right now. But shout out to everybody here, man. It's your boy BT, the untouchable True School Sports Empire. I hope everybody's doing good. I'm gonna move on to my next topic, and then I'll get to the comments back in a second. So, next topic, Demetrius Andrade. You know, one of our favorite fighters in this channel, probably one of the most talked about fighters on the entire channel. Demetrius Andrade. They just Eddie Hearn was saying that there could be a date in place for Demetrius Andrade's next potential fight, and the date that he suggested was November the 20th in Boston. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm not gonna cap. The opponent that that they're looking at him fighting next is not the kind of opponent that I'm gonna get excited for, and that you're gonna get excited for. But the opponent that he was saying that he's more than likely going to fight next will be Ireland's very own Jason Quigley. So Demetrius Andrade, Jason Quigley. It's not official yet, but Eddie Hearn is saying that that's the fight they're looking at because nobody else will step up to fight him in the top 15 of the WBO. So. November 20th, you know, in Boston. That's what it's looking like. And look, Quigley is not an elite fighter. Quigley's not a champion. He's none of those things. He's not a big name. He's a fringe contender. This is the same Jason Quigley that got knocked out by Toriano Johnson. And Toriano Johnson's a lower level contender. His last fight, and I was there for his last fight, Jason Quigley. He fought Shane Mosley Jr., won life and death with Shane Mosley Jr., but he beat Shane Mosley Jr., and you could argue it was one of the better wins of his career, maybe the biggest win of his career, which is really saying a lot about his resume. But Jason Quigley, you know, a former Canelo Alvarez sparring partner, Jason Quigley, a contender. He's ranked. If nobody wants to fight him in the top 15, and that's the only guy that's willing to sign a contract, then so be it. Am I excited about it? No. Is the fight going to do much for Demetrius Andrade? Not at all. But, you know, it is what it is. And listen, he's got to make sure he continues winning these fights because, you know, if God forbid he slip up and lose, he's in a situation where it's a no-win. Demetrius Andrade's in a no-win situation. It's a no-win situation because if he beats Quigley, they're going to say he's a bum, he's fighting nobody, he's a DoorDash driver, he's an Uber driver, all these things. And if he loses, they're going to say, see, Demetrius Andrade is trash, he's a hype job, he lost to some guy from Ireland that I never heard of. That's what the casual fans are going to say. The Canelo fans, people who hate Andrade are going to say, you know, these things. But, you know, Quigley's not horrible. He's not a horrible, you know, he was a fantastic amateur. I believe he was a world amateur champion, or he either won a silver medal or a gold medal in the 2008 World Amateur Championships. You know, pedigree is solid as an amateur, you know, but as a pro, he ain't really done a ton yet. You know, he's the biggest, you know, one of the biggest names on the resume was Toriano Johnson, and Toriano Johnson knocked his ass out. In his last fight, he fought Shane Mosley Jr., who was not even a top 15 caliber fighter, and went life and death with him. In an entertaining fight. Granted, Quigley got the win, but Quigley is not a world-class fighter, and Demetrius Andrade is a world-class fighter. And I think people are starving for Demetrius Andrade to fight these other world-class fighters. So, if that's the fight next, I can't really say too much about it. I'm not really that excited about it as a diehard Demetrius Andrade fan. I think it's the kind of fight that does absolutely nothing for him. It's the way I look at it is like this fight with Quigley. It's not as bad as the Luke Keeler fight, but it's not as good as Liam Williams. You know what I'm saying? So it's right in the middle. It's not as tough of a fight as Liam Williams, but it's not as easy of a fight as Luke Keeler. So it is what it is. But to his credit, when he fought Luke Keeler was coming off of a win against Luis Arias, where he boxed the shit out of Arias. The same Luis Arias who beat Jarrett Hurd recently. Same thing with Quigley. Quigley just beat Shane Mosley Jr.'s last fight. He's coming off of a win. So at least he's fighting guys coming off of wins. But this matchup is just piss poor, And the crazy thing is, like, if he would have fought Felix Cash, that would have been a good matchup because that was the other name suggested. If he would have fought Felix Cash, that would have been all right too. But Felix Cash isn't the kind of name that's gonna make Demetrius Andrade that household name and take him to that level he needs to be in boxing. So the marathon continues. These guys are still ducking him, and he's to that point where he got to fight Jason Quigley. So make of that what you will. Make of that what you will. Nobody is ever excited about a Demetrius Andrade opponent. What's new? I'm not excited for it. Be honest with you. I'm excited that he's in the ring. Like I'm glad that he's not gonna have a long ass layoff and he's gonna stay active and whatever. But I just want to see him fight someone. Whether it's Canelo, whether it's Triple G, whether it's Charlo, just fight someone. I know it's not entirely his fault, because the old saying is that it does take two to tango, and yeah, it does take two to tango. And if these guys don't want to fight him, then it is what it is. Who's Andrade fighting next? I mean, right now, according to Eddie Hearn, in the last interview he did, they're saying that it's looking like it's going to be Jason Quigley on November 20th in either Boston or Providence, Rhode Island, but nothing's finalized yet. So, it is what it is. Ranieri PRG says Brazil Robinson Conceicao is greater than Valdez. Absolutely. But hey, and the saga, the Demetrius Andrade saga continues of these guys not wanting to fight him and him having to fight these no-hopers, these not no-hopers, but like, fringe contenders, lower ranked, top 15 guys. Cannon fought an opposition that he's just not going to get any sort of credit for beating. And like, if he beats them, it's a no-win situation because like I said, if he beats them soundly, they're nobody. He's cherry picking. He's with his protection program, all these things, right? But then if he beats them and doesn't look sensational like he did against Liam Williams, like against Liam Williams, he won the fight by a pretty wide margin. But there were some moments where he was hurt and Liam Williams got physical, and people said, "Oh, well, see, hey, he struggled with Liam Williams, even though he won like 9 of the 12 rounds, at minimum, won 9 of the 12 rounds at minimum." So I would really like in the near future, hopefully like in the first half of 2022, like for the love of God, please get this man a fight, But shout out to everybody here. Got the glass of OJ, you know what I'm saying? Got to make sure we get that good source of vitamin C in, but yeah, man. The middleweight division's in shambles. The middleweight division is a complete shambles. And speaking of the middleweight division, I'm going to move on to my next topic, which is Triple G, Gennady Golovkin, the guy that, I was once a fan of Triple G. I used to love Triple G. But ever since he put his pen to paper and signed that deal with the Zone, he's gotten completely lazy. Like the Zone gave Triple G a big ass stimulus checks before stimulus checks were even a thing. And since then he's fought Steve Rolls, he's fought Kamil Schmerta, and he fought Derevyanchenko. That was a good fight, Derevyanchenko, but Kamil Schmerta, Steve Rolls. Now it's been reported that, as expected, we finally have a date. We finally have a time. Say the date. December the 28th, Triple G will be fighting Ryota Murata in Japan. And listen, it's not the worst fight because Murata has a belt. Murata is a good fighter. Murata was a gold medalist. But let's be real. Let's call a spade a spade. Ryota Murata hasn't boxed in 2 years. The last time Ryota Murata boxed was in December of 2019 when he boxed Steven Butler. But since then, he hasn't boxed. He's been inactive. He's been completely AWOL, completely non-existent, a complete non-factor in the middleweight division. And plus, even if he was active, the reality is this. This is the same Ryota Murata who lost to Rob Brandt. You know, he lost to Rob Brandt, and then he had to avenge his loss against Rob Brandt. So Ryota Murata is a good fighter. I think he's a solid top 10 guy who happens to have a belt, but he's already shown his level. If you're losing to the Rob Brandts of the world, you know, there's a serious problem. Now, the fight is a big fight in Japan, but this fight does nothing for Triple G here stateside. And ultimately, that he needs to make sure he gets his shit together here stateside, because this fight's not going to create any demand for a Canelo fight. And the thing is this. Triple G has been sitting on his ass, twiddling his thumbs for the longest time, talking about fighting Canelo. His whole career, since he lost to Canelo, has been revolved around Canelo. But he hasn't done anything to create the demand for the fight at all. Nothing. And unlike other guys that want to fight Canelo, like Charlo, Andrade, and David Benavidez, and guys like that, he's already had 2 paydays against Canelo. So, with that being said, you know, Triple G, listen, if he can beat Murata, because that's not a given, but if he beats Murata like he's supposed to, he can't waste no more time. He can't waste no more time. He has one of 2 options. Either A, fight Demetrius Andrade or Jamal Charlo, or retire from boxing. If you're not gonna fight the other champions in one of the wackest weight classes in boxing, then you have no business even competing anymore in boxing. Straight up. And I hate saying this because I like Triple G. He's a fantastic fighter, but you gotta call a spade a spade. That you know, his last fight last December with Camille Schmerta was one of the, and I know it wasn't mandatory, but it was one of the biggest cherry picks of all time. It was horrible. It was a horrible matchup, and I knew it was a horrible matchup because Schmerta has no punching power. But he was happy to fight him. He was happy to fight Steve Rules, and now he's happy to fight Murata, who, in the eyes of most people, yes, he's a solid fighter. Yes, he's a gold medalist, but he's a paper champion. He's a paper champion. He's not. When we talk about who are the best middleweights in the world at this present moment in time, Ryota Murata is not a name on people's mind. It's Andrade, it's Charlo, and it's Golovkin. And those are the 3 fights. Any one of those 3 fights, whether it be Andrade versus Charlo, Charlo versus Golovkin, Golovkin versus Andrade, any one of those 3 fights we're okay with. But anything outside of that is just utter bullshit, to be honest with you. So make of that what you will, but that's what's happening. You know what I'm saying? Trick, what's good, champ? I got your email. I didn't have a chance to respond to it, but I did get it. Just letting you know. You're going live for the Usyk Joshua fight tonight. That's when you scheduled it. Did I? Nah, it's tomorrow. If I scheduled it for tonight, I'll just change it. I could have sworn I scheduled it for tomorrow though. Baki Hamna said, "You never hear Demetrius Andrade ask for money. He's just asking for a good fight. That's all. That's all he wants." But nope, they say no. He hasn't done anything. He hasn't. What has he done to deserve it? All that stuff. Canelo was more mad at being called a drug cheat. Well, hey, if the shoe fits, the shoe fits where it. You know, if it wasn't true, then there's no reason for him to get upset. You know, people go in my comment section all the time. People who don't even fucking know me. People on a daily basis go in my comment section and say things that aren't true about me all the time here on YouTube. But guess what? I don't get upset about it. I just, it's whatever, like, because I know it's not true. If it's not true, then it shouldn't bother you. Now, it's bothering him because it's true, and he knows it's true. And this is the first time another fellow fighter has just told him straight up. Caleb Plant has told Canelo straight up, what anybody in boxing, whether it be a reporter or fighters or whatever, that doesn't like Canelo, everything that they want to say to Canelo Alvarez, Caleb Plant said it. And, you know, hey, shout out to him. That's right. Canelo is frustrated. He thought Andre just wanted a payday, but it was Plant who wanted a payday all along. Yeah, and the sad thing is he might fuck around and lose to Caleb Plant. So we gonna see. And yeah, I agree. I think at this point it's getting so bad getting so bad, it's getting so horrible that he might as well fight Chris Eubank. Fight Chris Eubank's trash ass. Fight Chris Eubank, get a win, because for whatever reason, people think Chris Eubank's this great fighter. So if you could beat him, all of a sudden you beat somebody, to get something. When in actuality, Chris Eubank Jr. is no better than Jason Quigley. He's no better than Liam Williams, and he's not what people think he is. He has some ability. He's athletic, but Chris Eubank Jr. ain't all that. Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to Brendan Smith. Yeah, Billy Joe Saunders. I never said it directly in his face though. No, he didn't. He didn't. He said you love the beef, the big juicy beef. King Mitch. Hold on. Where's my Bible at, man? Shout out to King Mitch, man. Listen, it's too early in the morning, but my man King Mitch, he's over here preaching the gospel. Man. He said, who makes a unification bout on TV on 6 weeks notice versus Canelo, who's been training for a year? Oh yeah, Callum Smith, dumbass did it. Then 10 seconds after the fight claimed he outgrown the division. Man, listen, shout out to Callum Smith. He's on the undercard this weekend against Lennon Castillo. That's a fucking, oh my God. I'm sorry, bro. I'm trying not to curse, but that is a ridiculously horrible cherry pick. I understand it's his first fight at 175, but man, I mean, you fighting at Tottenham Stadium on an Anthony Joshua undercard. Come on, Eddie. Come on, Eddie Hearn. You can do better than that. Lennon Castillo, but yeah. Callum Smith didn't think he could win that fight at all. And then, and now what's funny is I saw an article, and now he's saying all of a sudden, Callum Smith saying, oh, well, when I fight Canelo at 175, I'm going to be this different fighter. Oh, no, you're not, man. Canelo going to beat the shit out of you again. You're going to win every minute, every moment of every round. You just want another payday. So, payday, you want payday. Let me see. Andre wants Canelo more than a payday. Caleb Plant wants undisputed more than a payday. Bum-ass narratives. Callum Smith wanted the payday. Practically gave away his WBA and chance at the WBC. Absolutely. And that's crazy, right? Because the two fighters that get criticized, right, the most are Andrade and Plant. And the fighter that Canelo's beaten recently that gets praised the most is Callum Smith. And Callum Smith, apart from Yildirim, of all the champions Canelo's beat recently, Callum Smith is the worst one out of all of them, by far. This is the same Callum Smith who got his ass whooped from pillar to post against John Ryder and was lucky to get out of there with a decision. But they say he's the #1 super middleweight, but the same people that say he was #1 super middleweight when Canelo beat him can't even tell you who he boxed in the World Boxing Super Series without looking on BoxRec. So we know how boxing is. We know the narratives. We know how everybody wants to speak about things they don't know anything about. So it's just the world we live in. It's the world we live in. But shout out to everybody here, man. God bless everybody watching. Good morning to everybody watching. Hope your day's going well. The next thing I wanted to move on to, because I do have quite a few topics I want to touch on, just briefly. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is this whole Teofimo Lopez George Kambosos saga, man. Now look, I'm a huge Teofimo Lopez fan. That's no secret. Teofimo Lopez, he's a product of the South Florida amateur boxing system. He learned how to box at a place called the Davy Powell, or as I call it, the Factory of Champions, because you had Tio, Xanders from the Davy Powell, you got Aaron Aponte, a lot of good professional fighters coming out of the Davy Powell, and there's more young killers on the way. But he had a lot of momentum last year after he beat Lomachenko, and now it's been completely halted. And now, this George Kambosos fight has been the biggest shit show in boxing promotions I've seen in a long time. I mean, got out to a good start. Tio won the purse bid, or Chilla won the purse bid. They threw all this money at him. Fighter pay is a big topic of discussion when Chilla won the purse bid. Now, people can't wait for this fight to get over with, because this fight has literally been moved like so many times, like 6 times. Because remember, the fight was initially supposed to happen the first time on June 5th, right? Then the fight got pushed back because of the Floyd Logan Paul got announced later on. So they decided to push Lopez Kambosos to June 19th because they didn't want to compete with Floyd, who was also fighting in Miami that same weekend. So they pushed it to June 19th at Marlins Park. Okay, I was excited for it, right? June 19th, Teofimo all of a sudden gets COVID. We don't even know if that's true. It hasn't been confirmed. We haven't seen no test on nothing, right? Then goes to August 14th. Then it goes to September 11th. Then it goes to October 5th. Then they say, no, we're going to move from October 5th on a Tuesday night to October 4th on Monday night. And then they say, oh, no, we can't have it on October 4th on Monday night because it's going up against Monday Night Football and we'll get crushed and nobody will buy the damn fight. So now we're going to move it to October the 16th at the Barclays Center. So please, for the love of God, like, let it end. Let it end so Teofimo Lopez can be great again, so we can get back to boxing. Because truthfully speaking, when this fight was initially announced and scheduled for June the 5th, nobody gave a fuck about George Kambosos versus Teofimo Lopez. Nobody cared about Teofimo Lopez versus George Kambosos. Now people really don't care. Listen, I'm a T.O. fan. Diehard T.O. fan. But even I'm like, damn, bro, like, when is this going to end? Like, let it stop. Now, apparently, the reason that they're moving it from October 4th to the 16th, aside from the fact that it's on a Monday and they don't want to go against Monday Night Football and get crushed in the ratings, is because October the 16th is a Saturday, and Triller wants to have a versus battle to accompany the fight. If you guys know those versus battles, they get artists to battle each other. They did that with they did that when Michael Hunter fought. Michael Hunter headlined the card, and then they had the Jada Kiss. They had the Locks versus Dipset versus, and I'm sure the fight got more attention because people watched the fight before the rap battle. Well, same thing's gonna go with this fight. So either way, like, hopefully 2022 is better to TL than 2021 has been, because 2021 has been a wasted year, and this should have been like one of the banner years of his career. So yeah, man, it's unfortunate, just ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. Let me see. Shout out to everybody here. LOL. So everyone is a drug cheat if they push another fighter at a press conference. No, it's not just that. It's not just that. Listen, when have we ever seen Canelo Alvarez that angry? When has Canelo fans when has Canelo ever been that angry? When has he ever been that angry? I've never seen Canelo that angry at any press conference. Caleb Plant's turned up all the time. Listen, if you haven't been following Caleb Plant's career, he's like this all the time. Hell, he's like this even at other people's press conferences. Do you guys remember when Caleb Plant showed up to the James DeGale, Caleb Truax weigh-in, and he said that he was going to smack the shit out of both of them, and then James DeGale almost came down and wanted to fight him? Caleb Plant's always been turned up, so he's not doing anything that he doesn't always do. But yeah, man, I'm just glad that man, I'm pissed that I'm really sad about this whole Teofimo Lopez thing, because it's really been one of the things that's got me down about boxing this year. Seeing T.O. and how T.O.'s not active. So I guess if I want to kind of use T.O. as a speaking point to Boo Andre, like, T.O. hasn't been active, and I guess because of that, I'd rather Demetrius Andrade fight Jason quickly than not fight anybody. So I'm glad Boo was in the ring, because I wouldn't want to see him lose another year of his boxing career, because these guys don't want to fight him, But yeah, man. The next thing I wanted to talk about, they just announced. So for those of you who don't know, I haven't talked about it on the channel yet, but Joe Smith Jr. recently tested positive. When Joe Smith Jr. tested positive, when Joe Smith Jr. was supposed to fight Umar Salimov, I think it was a mandatory defense of his WBO light heavyweight title, and he tested positive for COVID apparently recently, so he's out. It's unfortunate. I like Joe Smith Jr. He is one of our American world champions. You know, God bless Joe Smith Jr. He's come a long way in his life and his career to get to where he's at. But his fight with Umar Salamov has been pushed back. It's not happening because he tested positive for COVID. So now Top Rank has announced the replacement fight for that fight, and it's a good. I'm not gonna lie to you. This fight is actually a lot more intriguing than Joe Smith's fight. I like this fight a lot more. The replacement fight for Joe Smith versus Umar Salamov is a fight taking place at 140. You're gonna have Jose Zepeda trying to, further cement his place in this division as one of the elites out there, taking on, Josue Vargas. And I like this fight a lot for a couple of reasons. Now, number one, the main reason I like this fight is because I feel like both these fighters, both Zepeda and Vargas, they're both fighters with a lot to prove. Zepeda wants to prove that he's world championship material. And truthfully, I still have questions if he is world championship material because he's a good fighter and he's one of the best 140-pounders out there. But Jose Zepeda, he doesn't believe in himself. He doesn't believe in himself. And he even says it himself all the time. He even says it himself all the time. He doesn't believe in himself. So, we're going to see how much he believes in himself. And then Josue Vargas, he's a guy that has been outboxing people and winning his fights, but he hasn't been looking sensational. And I'll be honest with you, Josue Vargas, in my opinion, and this is only my opinion, is a knockout loss waiting to happen. I think he's a knockout loss waiting to happen. So this is his chance to really show the world that he's one of the best young fighters out there, one of the best 140-pounders out there. So we're going to see what he does against Jose Zepeda. But, yeah, I like that fight a lot more than Joe Smith's fight, I think Joe Smith Jr. has the record for knocking guys out the ring. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Joe Smith Jr., he punches holes through people. And, listen, people keep overlooking Joe Smith, but I truthfully think that if Joe Smith Jr. were to fight Beterbiev, I think he got a great chance to beat him. Because Beterbiev is going to exchange, and Joe Smith Jr. ain't the type of fighter you want to exchange with. If someone is trying to take your food and diminish your name, trust me, you're not going to stay quiet. Well, he doesn't got to diminish Canelo's name. Canelo Alvarez testing positive for clenbuterol and, creating his own weight class to delay the first Triple G fight and, fighting at a catch weight in his first world title fight, and then not even making the catch weight not even making the catch weight that he contracted for the fight. These things diminish Canelo Alvarez on its own. Caleb Plant don't need to diminish Canelo Alvarez's name. So, but I get what you're saying. Do you think Canelo can unify at 175, or are they too strong for Canelo? 175, listen, man, he better worry about November the 6th. So we can't even talk about him going to 175. He ain't even unified 168. But to answer your question directly, though, no, absolutely not. And I don't think he'll even attempt to do so. Because look, if he wanted to do so, he would have started on that quest a long time ago. When he won the belt from Kovalev, he would have said, you know what, I got a belt here. These Bivol, Beterbiev, these guys ain't on my level. I'm Canelo. But we know what happened. He vacated the belt immediately, and he went back down. Enrique Luna, what's good, champ? He says, coming up soon, GGG versus Murata and Gabe Rosado versus Munguia. Yeah, good, decent matchups. I mean, I'm not really too excited about Murata versus GGG because I think Murata hasn't boxed in like 2 years. GGG's been sitting on his ass waiting for a Canelo stimulus check. But Munguia versus Rosado, I can't get mad at that one. Rosado earned that fight. Rosado's coming off of the best win of his career, one of his best wins of his career, not knocking out and upsetting, the very hyped up and very highly touted Bektier Melikuziev. Might have been knockout of the year, honestly. It was a damn good knockout. And now he's got a chance to knock out another fighter. And I really feel like Gabe Rosado is doing his best boxing later on in his career. His last two performances, I think, have been very good. I thought he outboxed Daniel Jacobs, which is no easy accomplishment, no easy feat. And now looking at knocking off Jaime Munguia. Look, I'm behind. I want Rosado to beat Munguia because Jaime Munguia's got lazy. Like when Jaime Munguia first burst onto the scene, I was a fan of Munguia. I like Munguia. I think he's very exciting. I think he's a great offensive fighter. I think he's one of boxing's most explosive offensive fighters. But Munguia, he's been blatantly ducking Demetrius Andrade for like 2 years now, going on 2 years, year and a half, 2 years. And they're just spoon feeding him easy opposition. So, you know, I like to see Rosado win because I feel like if Rosado wins, you know, Rosado would be a lot better. It'll be better for boxing. Just saying it like that. It'll be better than boxing. It'll be better for boxing. You know, exactly. Shout out to David. David, listen, man, I'm right there with you, David. I get the point. Great minds think alike. How long is Jaime Munguia going to take to fight a big name? Canelo fought Floyd at 23. He lost, but at least he learned. Yeah, look, in my own opinion, like you guys know, I can't stand Canelo Alvarez. I think he's the scum of the earth and the disgrace of the sport. But at least he fought Floyd. At least I give him that much. He fought Floyd. He was willing to get in the ring and fight Floyd at 23 years old. Now, granted, he had like 42 fights before he fought Floyd, but he still fought him. And it's the same thing with Munguia. Munguia got a whole truckload of fights too. And what's his excuse? He can't fight a damn Boo Andrade. He can't fight a Golovkin. He can't fight a Charlo. He can't fight nobody. Golden Boy is going to keep him in a win protection program for his entire career until he gets a payday against Canelo. Well, I'm going to tell you this. He's not getting a payday against Canelo. That ship is sailed. All right? Canelo got like 15 other bigger fishes to fry than Jaime Munguia. Okay? So hopefully Jaime Munguia at some point tells his promoters or someone tells him to fight someone because it's getting ridiculous. I pray to God Gabe Rosado fold him up just for the good of boxing, just so like because then when Gabe Rosado beats him and gives him that first loss, which by the way he should have already got because Dennis Hogan already beat the brakes off of Jaime Munguia, but if Gabe Rosado beats Jaime Munguia, I think it'll be a great thing for him because then the O's not there no more, and Golden Boy will actually have to put him in tough fights, good fights, and he'll get better because of it. So there's nothing wrong. Listen, in boxing, there's nothing wrong with losing. We have to get rid of this whole culture of like a loss is bad. A loss isn't bad. A loss can be very good for a fighter. You know, that's one thing I'll even say about Canelo. It's like, okay, yeah, he lost to Floyd, but it was good for him. It was good for Canelo. He lost, and he never wanted to feel that feeling again. And you know, he tightened up on some things. I don't think he changed that much as a fighter, but he definitely tightened up on the things that made him great and made them even greater. And you know, it got him to a point now where he's at where he's at. So Jaime Munguia, tighten up, champ. Otherwise, you know, very soon I'm gonna start talking about you the way I talk about Canelo, and I don't want to do that because I like Jaime Munguia. You know, let's see what else did I touch on? What else did I see? What else didn't I touch on my paper? Oh, so yeah, another thing I wanted to touch on is you know, a couple days ago there was a fight in Japan for the WBC light flyweight title. I was actually gonna go live for it. I was gonna go live for it. I had a VPN and everything, but the you know, it was on Japanese pay-per-view, and the Japanese pay-per-view wasn't working on the VPN, so I said F it. I wouldn't go live for it. It was Kenshiro versus Masamichi Yabuki for the WBC light flyweight title. And truthfully, I thought that Kenshiro was gonna get it done. You know, I thought Kenshiro. I mean, Yabuki was a solid fighter. Been in the ring with some good names. You know, he fought Junto Nakatani and lost to him. Nakatani beat Yabuki when he was undefeated, and I was thinking like, yo, Kenshiro will beat Yabuki, but that's not what happened. That is not what happened. Masamichi Yabuki pulled off one of the biggest upsets of the year in boxing because Kenshiro, for anybody who knows the smaller weight classes, Kenshiro has been dominating the light flyweight division. He's been that guy. He's been that guy, you know, at 108. And I haven't watched the fight yet, but I was reading about it, and apparently Yabuki grinded him down and stopped him in the 10th round. So hey, a massive upset, and we've got a new world champion at 108. So big respect to Masamichi Yabuki. Hopefully, maybe they can do a rematch, or maybe he can fight one of the other champions. But you know, it's always great to see an upset. And listen, Kenshiro was a legit champion. This guy's been world champion in the light flyweight division for 4 years. He's been one of the WBC's longest reigning champions in boxing. So, You know, just a really, 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 really good win for him. And the last thing I wanted to touch on was this. This is the last thing I want to touch on, and then I'm going to get to you guys' comments, and y'all can ask me whatever the hell y'all want, and y'all have my undivided attention. The last thing I want to talk about is this. So you guys know Riddick Bowe. He's a friend of the channel, good friend of mine. I love Riddick Bowe. Riddick Bowe was scheduled to fight in one of those exhibitions on October the 2nd here in South Florida in Miami at the James L. Knight Center. And he was supposed to fight Lamar Odom, the former NBA player Lamar Odom. But now it's come out that Riddick Bowe has been pulled off the card, and they're saying that the reason they're pulling Riddick Bowe off the card is because of what happened in Holyfield. So Riddick Bowe will not be fighting Lamar Odom, and I think this is great news. This is probably the best news I've gotten all day, because even though Lamar Odom is an NBA player, listen, man, it really, really hurt me seeing what happened to Holyfield and Vitor Belfort, and like it hurt me badly seeing that shit. But now it's like I'm glad I don't even got to think about Bowe being in that position, because Bowe isn't even Bowe is in worse shape than Holyfield. But Bowe has horrible knees. Bowe can barely stand up sometimes. He's got really bad knees. So, you know, I'm happy about this. I'm happy about Riddick Bowe not fighting. You know, and this is great news. So, yeah, man, that's pretty much all the news I wanted to talk about. So, anything y'all wanna ask me, y'all got my undivided attention. You know, it's your boy BT, the untouchable True School Sports Empire, getting in some morning random boxing talk. So anything, just drop it in the comments. The real question is, how long is Munguia going to wait to activate his mandatory position to fight Andrade? He's never going to activate it. And listen, he's a fighter, so I'm pretty sure that he does want to activate that mandatory position, but I bet you it's his handlers, it's Golden Way Promotions, it's Austin De La Hoya, it's all parties involved. It's Roberto Diaz, the matchmaker. These guys don't want him to fight Demetrius Andrade because they know what's coming if that happens. If he fights Demetrius Andrade, it'll be a fucking shooting gallery of epic proportions. Munguia don't got no defense. Munguia is a good come forward fighter, but he got no defense. And you know, fighting someone like Demetrius Andrade is a nightmare for him. He don't have the foot speed. He don't have the defense to compete. Like it's an A-class fighter versus a B-class fighter. What do I think about Tim Tszyu versus Takashi Inoue? I think it's a good fight. You know, Takashi Inoue is old. But to be fair, he was old when he fought Munguia. You know, I believe he's 41 years old. Now he was, so I mean that would mean he was 39 years old when he fought Munguia. And look, he gave Munguia a great fight. He gave Munguia all he could handle a couple years ago when that fight happened. And I think it's a good fight for Tim Tszyu at this juncture, because the reality is a lot of the high-profile American fighters are not going to go to Australia for a fight with Tim Tszyu. He just doesn't bring that kind of money to the table right now. So, you know what? Hey, we'll make do what we got. You know, I like Tim Tszyu. I think Tim Tszyu is the future of this division. I think Tim Tszyu is gonna beat a lot of these top guys. You know, very strong, very sturdy, just someone that's going places. You know, and I'm happy that he's in the ring. Trick says, True School. Oh, yeah. He said, True School. I talked with John Scully, and he is one of BWF's trainers. He said Canelo will beat Kovalev, call out Arthur, and when they asked for the contract, he's going to drop the belt. Scully was right. Yeah, listen. I like John Scully, and, you know, shout out to him. I'm friends with him on Facebook. He's actually someone that I want to interview myself, and I talked to him a couple of times here and there. John Scully is right. Canelo, that's what Canelo did. He didn't want no smoke with BWF. But I'm kind of confused because I think Canelo could beat the shit out of BWF. I think that fight is a great fight for Canelo. BWF maybe 2 or 3 years ago might have beat Canelo, but I'm saying if you were to fight him right now, I think he could beat the brakes off BWF, because BWF has a lot of wear and tear in that body from a long, grueling amateur career. You know, BWF gets fights canceled all the time because of injuries and things like that. So I just feel like his body's breaking down. He's old. He's kind of aged out. I'm surprised. Listen, he's like the perfect opponent for Canelo. So I'm surprised Canelo hasn't gone that way. You know, I'm surprised he hasn't gone that way. But you know, it is what it is. If that fight ever happens in the future, it would definitely be interesting. But I personally, a lot of people are crazy for saying this, but if those two fight, I'm picking Canelo. I think Canelo beat Beterbiev. David says, start applying at ESPN and DAZN for boxing analysts. They need one. Nah, champ, I'm good. I don't ever want to work for ESPN or DAZN. I'm good. I'm happy with what I do here. Like, I'm happy with what I do. It gets better. I mean, on True School Sports, like every year, I feel like in one way or another, the channel's gotten better. And I got some great ideas that I'm going to implement starting when I go to Vegas. And I think you guys are gonna like some of the content that I have planned. But I'll be honest with you, a lot of people have told me, "Oh, I want to see you on ESPN, I want to see you on DAZN, and all these different platforms." And I'll be honest, I really don't want to be on any of those platforms. I'm good right here because I want to say what I want to say. Like if I worked for ESPN and DAZN, I'd be calling Canelo a cheater. I will be calling him. I will be saying things about fighters on the network that they might not like, and you know, they would censor me, and I want to be myself. I want to be my 100% authentic self. So, you know, I take it as a compliment, but I'm good. Let's see. Do you remember Sandman? Do you remember the Sandman Scott Pemberton? I don't. You might need to put me on game, champ. You know, for my age, I think I know. I mean, being only 26 years old, I think I know a good amount about the history of boxing, but I don't know everything. So put me on game, champ. I first saw your interview with Don Turner. I never heard of him before, so thank you. Yeah, man, Don Turner. That's one of my favorite interviews that I've ever done, and I like Don, man. I wish I would run into Don Turner again. It's been a long time. Caleb Plant will shock the world on November 6th and be the first to stop Canelo. Now, I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think it'll stop Canelo. But, man, if that happens, that's going to be – y'all might see me cry. Y'all might see me cry on YouTube. For real. Oh, my God, it's Hyro. Good morning to you, Hyro. Buenos dias. He says, shout out to the Canadian heavyweight. He has the same trainer as Beterbiev. I can't believe this guy knocked out Johnny Rice. Oh my God. Yeah, man. What was his name? Hyro, tell him in the comments what his name is. Oh shit. My man John. Shout out to John. Wacky movie clips with the $4.99 super chat. It's greatly appreciated, John. John says, I said on Facebook that I think Bud will drop Sean Porter with the counter, and Bomac messaged to me to say I nailed it. What's your take on the fight and how does it end? That's a great question. And look, I'm so excited for that fight. Like I'm gonna be in Las Vegas for that fight. And what's crazy is I'm gonna get to your question, but like I'm probably gonna go to like 3 or 4 cards when I'm in Vegas because I know there's that fight that I'm gonna go to. Figueroa's fighting Fulton, and then what's his name is Michaela Maris fighting as well. So I'll probably go to those 3 fights right there. But anyway. As far as Crawford versus Porter, I think it's a great fight. I think Sean Porter in that fight is going to – I don't think Sean Porter is going to fight the first couple of rounds like people think he's going to fight. Like a lot of people think Sean Porter is just going to come and swing at Crawford and press him and be this aggressive. I actually think that Sean Porter is going to do something crazy. I think in the first couple of rounds he's going to try to box with Terence Crawford. And I don't think we'll see Sean Porter begin to press Crawford until like the 4th, 5th round. Now, when the middle rounds come, I think that's when Christmas comes early for Terence Crawford, and he starts countering Sean Porter. And you start seeing the boxing IQ of Terence Crawford. You start seeing the ring acumen of Terence Crawford. You start seeing the ambidextrous switch hitting skills of Terence Crawford. And I think he's gonna catch him with something nasty. So I don't think he's gonna knock out. Listen, I don't think he's gonna knock out Porter. I'll be honest. I don't think he's gonna knock him out. I think that's a popular opinion that people have right now. But I'm gonna go to Terence Crawford UD. Terrence Crawford. I'm gonna pick Terrence Crawford by the same score I'm picking Caleb Plant. He's gonna outbox Sean Porter 117 to 111. UD. So that's my prediction. Yeah, man. That is crazy though. That is crazy how Bomac messaged you. Shout out to Bomac. I had a chance to meet Bomac when I was in what was it, Orlando? Yeah, when I went to Kissimmee, Florida for the Edgar Berlanga Desmond Nicholson fight, I met Bomac in the hotel lobby. Nice guy. Talked to him for like 2 minutes. Just really a lovely guy and a great trainer as well. Fantastic trainer. One of the best trainers in boxing, hands down, right now. Oh man, shout out to Hyro, and shout out to Hyro with the $1.99 super chat. He says, did you know that the real fight? The real fight for tonight is ? What's the real fight, Hyro? Tell them in the comments, Hyro. Tell them what the real fight is. By the way, for those of you just tuning in, shout out to you. Program reminder, tonight, 10:45 Eastern Standard Time, I'll be live for the Showbox card. It's going to be Jericho Quinn versus Saul Sanchez. So make sure you guys join me for that. It's going to be a fun night of boxing. And we got Otar, the pit bull on the undercard. Really excited to see him get his TV debut, his Showtime debut. You guys are going to want to really look out for Otar. Otar is going to be the star of tonight's card. Mark my words. Hyro was saying that the real fight for tonight is Jimmy Williams versus Greg Vendetti, the CES boxing. Yeah, man, I want to watch that, Hyro. Hyro, what time does that card start? Do you know? I might just go live for both cards. F it. We might just do a live fight reaction extravaganza doubleheader and keep it all on one live if that card starts early enough. David, shout out to David. He says, I think if Caleb avoids Canelo's body shots, he will win. They caused Laura and Billy Joe problems, and to the judges' eyes, that one Canelo fight on the cards. I actually think that Canelo beat Laura, truthfully, which pains me to say because I don't like Canelo. I don't like giving him credit for anything, but I thought he beat Laura. I thought the body work he did in that fight was actually very underrated. But it was a close fight. I'm not going to say he didn't beat him by a lot, but it was a close fight. BT, that's exactly what I told Bomac. What I told Bomac is that Porter would come out and try and box, and when that's not working, he will start getting wild, and that's when Bud will time him. Yup. And one thing we can say about Terrence Crawford is Terrence Crawford has natural fighting instincts. Like I would say Terrence Crawford got some of the best instincts I've ever seen from any fighter. Just he always knows the next move to make, whether it be to pivot, slip, shift, parry, counter, jab, hook, whatever it is. He just has great fighting instincts that can't be taught in most fighters. It can't be, if you can't teach fighters the kind of instincts he has. Trevor Bidios, he says, hey, True, hope you're good. I just seen the AJ Usyk win. I can't wait for the fight. It's gonna be a hard fight for him. Keep the good work. True School from the West Midlands in England. Shout out to the West Midlands. And yes, Usyk versus Joshua will be live for tomorrow. It's gonna be a great fight. And to me, it's one of the most important heavyweight matchups in the modern era. Because Usyk, I think, is one of the best fighters out there. Whether you think he's a heavyweight or not, he's one of the best fighters in boxing. His resume tells you that. His amateur pedigree tells you that. His accolades tell you that. His skills tell you that. So Joshua ain't really been in there with somebody as tricky and as I don't think Joshua, to be honest with you, I don't think Joshua's ever fought anybody in their boxing career who's as much of a winner as Usyk is right now. Like Klitschko was a great heavyweight, but Klitschko was old and Klitschko was coming off of a loss. Usyk does not know how to lose. He's an undefeated fighter. He's an undefeated fighter who's been undisputed. So that means he's even got an extra layer of confidence that most fighters don't have. And he was a gold medalist. So good luck knocking that guy off. It's gonna be tough. But I think AJ has definitely I think Anthony Joshua has matured enough. I think Anthony Joshua is one of the best heavyweights out there. And I'm sticking with my pick. I'm sticking with my pick. He says, you're not talking to Bomac. Why are you lying? And why would you tell him something obvious that he already knows? Well, I don't think he's lying because I'm friends with Wacky Week Clips on Facebook, and Bomac is in all these Facebook groups. Like if any of you are on Facebook, join any of these boxing groups, and you're bound to see Bomac somewhere in the comments. I've seen Bomac comment on someone he posts. Like he's a regular dude. So it's not far-fetched that Bomac would message Wacky Movie Clips. We interviewed him last week and commentated his fight while we watched it, and it was cool. Cool. Oh, shit. Harold says that the Jimmy Williams versus Greg Vendetti fight starts at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard. Oh, my God, bro. Hey. Let's take a poll. Now, I know last week here on True School Sports, we went live for like a bunch of random cards. All right. You guys tell me yes or no. Should I go live for both cards on tonight? Because the Showbox card doesn't start till 10:30, but there's another card on at 7. So should I go live for both cards? Should we do a 5-hour live for Club Show Boxing today? What do you guys think? Scott Pemberton was a super middleweight that fought back in the late 90s. He was a warrior. He fought 2 wars with Omar Shoka on ESPN. That one was fight of the year. Oh, shit. Okay. You jot that one down, champ. Scott Pemberton versus Omar Shoka. I'm going to have to check that one out. You know, I love watching the old fights. I love learning about different fighters, and you know, because the thing is with boxing, right? The thing of boxing is like there's so many fighters and there's so many eras and there's so many weight classes. And boxing is such a global sport too that you could literally spend 5 hours watching boxing and you still won't learn all of boxing. Like that, and that's the beauty. That's the beautiful thing about boxing. That's why I don't understand these channels that can't talk about anything besides like the big name fighters. You know, there's so many things that happened in boxing that are worth talking about, and yeah. One thing I'm gonna start doing, I'm gonna let y'all guys know this in advance. One thing I'm gonna start doing is whenever I watch old fights, as soon as I watch an old fight, I'm gonna do a video about it. So that way, people can get turned on to different fights and learn about boxing, and I can learn about boxing as well. You know, because I'm always learning. I'm always a sponge to learn more about boxing. Wacky Week Clip says, BT, I just sent you the chat log of Bomac since this dude called me out. Oh, shit. Let me see. Damn. I want to check it out. Hold on. I'm going to check it out real quick. Hold on. Let me, you guys give me 1 second. Oh, fuck. Did I really? Damn, bro. I don't have the Messenger app on my phone. I deleted it. Because I got sick of people messaging me on Facebook, so I deleted it. But I'm going to check it out after. And I'll confirm it on the next live if you're here. Who's the best promoter? Al Heyman, Bob Arum, or Eddie Hearn? The best promoter? Well, that's an easy question. The best promoter, it depends. If you're asking, like, who's the best promoter historically, it's definitely Bob Arum. Bob Arum has done more than all those guys historically. Right now, well, Al Heyman is not even really a promoter, so we can't even include Al Heyman in the equation because he's an advisor. He's not a promoter. He's an advisor, and he has the promotional companies that rent space on his shows, like TGV Promotions, Bella Entertainment, all that stuff. But I mean, I don't know. I like Bob Arum. If you ask me, I like Bob Arum. I know that's not a popular opinion because people hate Bob Arum, but I like Bob Arum. Yeah, Donda. Shout out to Donda. Donda knows. If you know, hey, if you know, you know. You call it for what it is. Al Heyman's out here blatantly violating the Muhammad Ali Act, but it's cool though because Al Heyman's fighters getting paid though. How does the Baby Shark Campbell Hatton keep getting these great placements on the cards? Listen, the same reason that Nico Ali Walsh is getting placement on cards for Top Rank. He's the son of somebody that's important in boxing. You know, Ricky Hatton was a pay-per-view draw. Big name. Big name. Big name. Well, in British boxing. You know, these guys, Campbell Hatton is no great fighter, and Nico Ali Walsh, you know, I don't think he's going to be a great fighter either, but these guys are going to get attention because of who they're associated with. And, you know, hey, you can hate the player or you can hate the game. I think hating the game more than the player is more productive. So, I'll tell you this, Campbell Hatton is trash. I'm sorry. I not as a person, but like his skills like are not up to par to be fighting on a Joshua card in a stadium. But listen, this is part of promotion. Eddie Hearn's trying to build him up into that next star, and it's Campbell Hatton's job to deliver the performances. So we'll see. Fight news, what's good, champ? He says BT tomorrow will be this era's Holyfield versus Bowe 1, where a good little man loses a great fight to a good big man. Or he's asking me the question, will it be that? Listen, that's a big statement. That's my favorite fight in the history of boxing. So for me to say yes would be me saying that I'm gonna go nuts tomorrow, and this is gonna be the greatest fight in the heavyweight division that it can possibly produce. I think it'll be a good fight. I think it'll be very competitive, but I don't think it'll be as exciting as Bowe Holyfield 1. But then again, what exactly is as exciting as Bowe Holyfield 1? Yeah, I think this is a case where a good big man beats a good little man. But I don't know. Usyk isn't a good little man. He's a great little man. He was an undisputed cruiserweight champion. But at the same time, you could also say Evander Holyfield was a great little man. So, and he lost to Bowe the first fight as well. So you might got a point. And I actually thought about that myself earlier in the week. I thought about making a video about, you know, is that fight this era's Bowe Holyfield 1, but I didn't have the time, so I didn't do it. But yeah, can't wait. I know that undercard. I know that undercard's gonna be really brutal tomorrow, but that main event is worth it. Yeah, Bob Arum signs all the young talent, does all the heavy lifting, and then these guys go to Al Heyman. That's how it starts. Just luring every fighter, then boom, fighters are gonna start complaining about pay like the UFC. Yup. Yes, sir. Harold says, tell them about the Jimmy Williams Instagram story. So yeah, so tonight there's a card that starts at 7 o'clock on UFC Fight Pass. It's gonna be Jimmy Williams versus Greg Vendetti, and I'm probably gonna go live for it. I can't even lie to you. I'm probably gonna go live for it. Harold. So yesterday, Jimmy Williams put this Instagram story out on his Instagram where he was hanging out with the police, and he was like, the police just stopped me. They called the police on me, and now they come into my fight. They come into my fight because they know I'm nice. They know my name ring bells. They know I'm nice. It was really funny. Jimmy Williams, a big personality, good talented fighter, and yes, you know what? Fuck it. We're gonna go live for both cards tonight. We're gonna go live for the card on UFC Fight Pass, and we're gonna go live for the card on Showbox. So we're gonna have a Friday night doubleheader here on True School Sports. We're talking about like a 5-6 hour live fight reaction, potentially 6, but probably 5. Hyro says, "How dare you, BT? Nico is coming. Nico will knock out Campbell Hatton." Listen, Nico and Campbell Hatton right now are one and the same, Hyro. I know you love Nico Ali Walsh. You've been the president of the Nico Ali Walsh fan club for a long time now, but it's not happening, champ. It's not happening. BT, you want the Showtime that way you don't... Yeah, absolutely. Give me that Showtime, champ. Julio Cesar Martinez, what's good, man? He says Campbell Hatton is the real main event tomorrow. Absolutely not. Listen, man, ain't none of the fighters on the undercard no real main event. Tomorrow's undercard, I think it's gonna be brutal. I'll be perfectly blunt and honest with you guys. I think that undercard's gonna be brutal. Hopefully, I'm wrong. Hopefully, all these fights can end in knockouts as soon as possible, so we can get to that main event. But either way, we'll be live for it. But yeah, man. Let's see, what time is it right now? Come on, it's noon. Holy hell, it's noon. It's already noon. Man, time flies. Time flies when you're having fun. Time just flies here on True School Sport. When you're having fun and you're doing your thing and you just talk boxing, time just flies. Because I swear I've been up since I woke up at like, what was it, 5:30 this morning. I went in my backyard. I shadow boxed for like 90 minutes, sweated profusely, prayed, took my shower, ate breakfast, came here, went live at like 10:30. It's already noon. It's crazy. It's crazy. King says Tom Brown is the best promoter. Absolutely not. I'm gonna have to go with Joe DeGuardia. Joe DeGuardia and Star Boxing. I got them. Joe DeGuardia and Star Boxing and Greg Cohen Promotions. Greg Cohen, who got freaking indicted and went to prison for like 2 years. Greg Cohen GCP, stand up. Greg Cohen Promotions. Oh shit. Got that shout out to Hiro with that $4.99 super chat. He says, we don't know about Nico yet. Give it time. I mean, look at what happened to the 3-division champion, Kosai Tanaka. Ken Shiro got stopped by a guy with a 14-2 record. I think 14-3. I think it was 14-3, Hiro. Or 12. He was 12-3. But Masamichi Yabuki, who knocked out Ken Shiro, apparently, I mean, he gave. I don't know if you know this, Hiro, but the guy that knocked out Ken Shiro, his first loss of his career was to your boy Junto Nakatani. So hey, Junto Nakatani, where's the crown at? Hey, oh shit! Hold on. 1 second, guys. 1 second. Hiro, Junto Nakatani. I gotta say, man, Junto Nakatani. He's Junto Nakatani's at the top of the mountain. He's at the top of the mountain with the crown. Yo, he's at the top of the mountain with the crown like that, ruling over the flyweight and light flyweight divisions, because even his leftovers are knocking out undefeated long-reigning champions. Junto Nakatani, stand up. But yeah, I'm wearing the crown now. When you see this, you know what's on. I think when I go to Vegas, I'm gonna pack this in my bag. I gotta make sure. And I gotta buy one of those WWE United States titles. Yeah, I'm just listen. I'm telling y'all. I'm counting down the days. I am just like counting down the days till I go to Las Vegas. I can't wait. I cannot wait. I'm really, really excited. We're gonna be going to a lot of fights. We're gonna be doing a lot of vlogs, interviews. It's just gonna be a great time, a really great time. But shout out to everybody here. Make sure y'all smash that like button. Let me know what city, what state, what continent you're watching from. It's your boy BT, Brendan Taylor, the untouchable True School Sports Empire. Hope everybody's having a good afternoon, because it is afternoon. It's freaking 12 something. Hope everybody's having a good afternoon. And yeah, man, just like happy right now. I'm just happy. Today's going to be a good day. Let me see if there's any comments that I missed. What's up, Q to God? Oh, Q to God, what's good, champ? I didn't see this comment. Quay to God, how you doing, champ? Hope you're good. This is a crazy weekend. Nick Diaz is fighting Robbie Lawler. Oh, is he really? I mean, I'm not even a UFC fan like that, but that's a big fight. That's a big fight, right? In MMA, because I know who Nick Diaz is, and I know Robbie Lawler is. So I assume, me being somebody who doesn't know shit about MMA, I just assume that that's a big fight, because I know who Nick Diaz is, and I know Robbie Lawler is. And yes, shout out to you out there in OKC, my man JDM Beats OKC. God bless you, champ. Top Gank Flop Rank is a feeder program for the great PBC. Oh man, you starting to sound like Hiro right now. You on that PBC hype train? I'll tell you this. One thing I can say about PBC, they just know how to like, I don't know, they just know how to they know how to get you hyped. Like, sometimes PBC kind of feels like WWE. But sometimes I like that. You know, I don't want to hear fight like this Plant versus Canelo presser. I'm glad it played out the way it did because I'm gassed. Like I can't even think about no other fights because the damn presser was so exciting. And listen, I don't think fighters should be someone that they're not, but you know, I don't want to go. I hate these press conferences when you go there and you can just tell that the fighters don't want to be there. Like you can tell the fighters don't want to be at the press conferences. They don't want to be there. They're not happy to be there. You know, nobody's themselves. And the fight promotions suffer because of it. And it's really a waste of time because nobody's enjoying themselves. But and another thing is like fans, most press conferences in boxing, fans don't even want to watch them because you're just gonna hear the fighters say, you know, I had a great camp. You know, I trained for this fight, and yeah, just tune in. It's gonna be a show. Like people don't want to hear that shit. They don't want to hear that shit. Say something that's gonna get people excited. It doesn't mean you gotta go crazy and be disrespectful, but like, hey, at least at bare minimum, at least say, you know, you're gonna knock the guy out or something. You know, do something. Because we live in a world these days where like there's so many freaking things that people could be doing other than watching boxing, and even within boxing itself, there are so many different promotional companies. You got PBC, Top Rank, Matchroom, Golden Boy. You know, stand out. You know, stand out. Don't be a boring fighter outside the ring. Have some personality. And if you got the personality, let it show. Let it be known. Who cares if people hate? If they hate, that means they're interested. Ordinary Pete, what's good, champ? Good to see you. Good to see you. It's a rematch. Lawler versus Diaz is basically. Oh damn! Really? So it's the UFC version of that. That's crazy. Let me see. That's right. That's right, Key. That's right. Never forget sausages, Vienna sausages, Wonder Bread, cornflakes with water, and last but not least, the sponsors, Kool-Aid with no motherfucking sugar. Oh man, listen, man, Keen gonna get me to run another commercial. You know, so again, shout out to our unofficial sponsor. You know, Big Baby, Jarrell Miller. I'm gonna let Big Baby, the former WBO, NABO heavyweight champion. I'm gonna let the former WBO, NABO heavyweight champion, Big Baby Miller, tell us about our sponsors. Tell him, champ.
Vienna sausage, cinnamon buns, Wonder Bread, Kool-Aid with no motherfucking sugar.
You know, I keep thinking, Keen, that clip's not gonna be funny. And that one day that it'll stop being funny, but that day hasn't come yet. That's just still funny. It's kind of like Adrian Broner's interview. You know, Adrian Broner's interviews is the same way. Adrian Broner, his interview with Jim Gray, Adrian Broner Jim Gray was like, you're 3-3-1 in your last 7 fights. It's like, I'm 51 in my last 7 fights, but if I'll fight you, I'll be 7-0. Listening, working and listening, how much of a chance are you, and shout out to my guy 704 Joe out there in Dallas, Texas. Dallas, we ain't heard in my Marie Zucker voice. How much of a chance do I give Porter? I give Porter a 30% chance of winning. I think he's got a chance. I think he'll just because of his conditioning and his will to win, he'll always be in fights. But at the end of the day, as they say, skills pay the bills, and that's just what it's gonna be. So Ricky B said, "Great coverage, bro. We need Pops on the mic." You know, let's go see if Pops is awake. Let's see. You know, you guys, hold on 1 second. I'm gonna go see if Pops is awake. Give me 1 second, guys. Give me 1 second. right, he'll be here soon. He'll be here soon. Pops told me 10 minutes, so he told me 10 minutes. So Pops will be here sometime in the next 10 minutes. So listen, man, y'all getting blessed today. You know, you got a live early in the day for me. You know, I'm not really a morning person. I don't know if y'all can tell. I don't think I'm as energetic as I am normally in the mornings. But hey, I'm here. And Pops is gonna be on too, so we'll see what Pops got to say here in a second. Because I'm sure he's gonna have a lot to say about some of the topics we touched on today. You know, I want to get his thoughts on a lot of the things we touched on today. So yeah, you'll get your wish, Ricky B. How did you grade the Tyson versus Wilder card? Oh, the undercard is ridiculous. You got Frank Sanchez taking on Efe Jagba, which I think is a fight that's good enough to headline a PBC on Fox show. That's an amazing fight. Then you got Robeisy Ramirez Robeisy Ramirez is taking on Orlando Capo Gonzalez, who, you know, that right there is a matchup of two exceptional fighters at the amateur level, and two guys that people think will be really good in the pros as well. Those are the only two fights that I know of on that card. And if I had to give that card a grade just based on the two fights that I know of, I would give it an A. Undercard is an A, a straight A. Super J. Cole fan says Big Baby Miller was doing security work for the Logan Paul versus Mayweather press conference. LMAO. Yeah, I actually just saw Big Baby a while ago. You know, Big Baby a couple weeks ago. Big Baby actually showed up at the Heavyweight Factory when Evander Holyfield was doing his media workout, and I actually wanted to I did an interview with him, and Big Baby basically came out and he said that he's been doing, like, ever since he tested positive for PEDs and basically got kicked out of boxing, he's been working on apps and cryptocurrency and doing things like that. So he said he's going to come back. He said he's got plans coming back, but that's what it is. Damn. Do you think Ugas would beat Spence? I do. I do, actually, yeah. I think he beats Spence. I think he would have an answer for almost anything Spence tries to bring. I don't know. I would favor him right now, but, like, I don't even think there's any point in talking about it. Spence might not even box again. That Jimmy Williams coming off of a majority decision win over Yuri Foreman. Yeah, Yuri Foreman, the rabbi. Yeah, well, hold on. Let me see something. Let me show y'all something. Let me dig into my treasure chest right here. Where's that damn? Where's it at? I'm gonna show y'all something funny. Yeah, you mean? No, hold on. That's the wrong one. That's the wrong one. Where's that? Where is it at? Where's it at? Where's it at? What the fuck is it at? Yuri Foreman, you say? Huh? Yuri Foreman? You want to talk about Yuri Foreman? Oh, where the hell is that damn? Let's see. Where the hell is this damn thing at? I'm trying to show you something. I'm trying to be funny, but I guess. Oh, here we go. You mean this Yuri Foreman? You mean this guy? You mean that Yuri Foreman? Yeah. Shout out to the rabbi. This is from was it 2017 when Aries Lenny Lara cherry picked Yuri Foreman and he cherry picked the hell out of Yuri Foreman, and he knocked him on his ass. That was when Lara had like a good 2-year stretch of just cherry picking fights and cherry picking fighters and bringing them down to Hialeah in Miami. He freaking cherry picked Jan Zevic and then Yuri Foreman. And he was knocking them out. Like the way he did Thomas Cornflake Lamana, that's how he was doing Yuri Foreman and these guys. It was crazy. Man, shout out to all 25 of you here. Make sure y'all guys do me a favor and smash that like button. Canelo. What a name. Oh man, that's funny. And I like how this guy found like one of the rarest pictures of me from when I was like 20 years old. I looked like a fucking goofball back then with the Hornets jersey on. He said Canelo Dick Rider. So he's calling me a Canelo Dick Rider. That's funny. But Crawford is going to get exposed. Sean Porter will drop Crawford multiple times. Listen, Canelo Dick Rider, which is apparently me. It'd be great. Look, I love a good upset. You know, I think Sean Porter's conditioning is going to give it. Sean Porter's conditioning and his stamina is always going to keep him, you know, competitive in fights. If nothing else keeps Sean Porter competitive, he can always go back to his conditioning. But man, that's a rough picture. You really went all the way back to find. I don't know. You screenshotted that because that don't look like the picture I took. That's funny. I hear that Williams is fighting on that UFC app. Yeah. It's on the UFC Fight Pass app. I'm gonna go live for it because I actually have UFC Fight Pass. Thanks to my boy Hyro, because I'm not buying that shit. But yeah, I got UFC Fight Pass. I got freaking. Oh, I think that's him. I think he's here. The man has showed up. Pops is here. Yes.
What's going on, guys? Let's get this going. Let's get this boxing going. How you all doing?
Got a chair?
Yeah, I'll get you.
Pops has arrived. So listen, y'all had enough looking at my ass for the last hour and 40. The real main event is here. Pops is here. He done came through. He done came through to probably yell and curse and say something. Pops. It don't take Pops too much to get fired up. And I just noticed that he brought in a cup of Cuban coffee. So Pops with Cuban coffee is a dangerous combination. That's a real dangerous combination. I still can't get over this, man. I can't get over the fact that this guy, he found that picture of me. That's crazy. That's a funny picture. Mr. Flash, what's good, champ? He says, what's good, BT? I'm on lurk mode listening while I'm hitting the weights. Yeah, hey, get them reps in, champ. You know, make sure you get in the best physical shape possible. Take care of yourself.
Yeah, that's important. That's for sure. Look at me.
Yeah, so Pops.
Hey, good morning, guys. Good afternoon.
Yeah, man. How you
God
doing?
bless.
Oh, she taller than me now.
Yeah, I grew up with this little coffee, watered down coffee. I need to have that at least for my health.
Yeah.
Well, what's going on, man? You all guys ready for that big fight this weekend? The Usyk and
Weekend. We got 2 cards on tonight.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
That's even better. Yeah, you know.
We got a card on UFC Fight Pass on.
Are you serious?
At 7?
Harold, thank you, Harold.
We got a card on UFC Fight Pass at 7, and then we have a card on Showbox at 10, okay. 10:30.
That's great. Yeah. What's the majority got here for the Usyk and Joshua fight? What they got? Who they got? The majority of the people here, they haven't seen.
Yeah, well, Pop wants to know who do you guys got for the Usyk and Joshua fight?
Yeah, who you guys got?
I'm sticking my initial pick. I'm sticking my pick.
I'll tell my opinion. I've been saying all the videos with Brandon. Usyk is a cruiserweight. Was a great cruiserweight. He does an excellent resume. He's done a lot for the cruiserweight, but he's at the heavyweight now, and I just think that he's a talented fighter, but I think he's got to show me what he's gonna do. And I'm not discrediting him, but I just think Josh is gonna beat him. And skillfully, I think both fighters are great fighters. Both fighters are evenly skilled, no matter how you want to go across the board. The only edge that I will give to Joshua is his power. So I got Joshua this weekend.
Tyson Fury said recently that he thinks that the reason he said that Alexander Usyk has been purposely looking like shit in his heavyweight fights so that he can get the big fights.
Well, I mean,
what do you think? Do you think that he purposely looked like trash against Chaz Witherspoon and not as good against Chisora so that he can get the Joshua fight?
That could be true. I mean, I don't see it that way because I think he's really. If you ever see him train, he's over dedicated. I don't think that's that. But that could be. Something to debate. I do agree with it because we've had the discussion before based on Boo Andre.
Yeah,
a lot of things about them. We went on the same road, so I can see Fury saying that. But I don't. But Usyk, I don't think is that. I'm just gonna say. Teddy Atlas got Usyk winning the fight, and he gave a good. If y'all didn't check it out his channel. He gave a good analysis on that. But I'm going with my heart. I like Usyk.
I don't know. I'm picking Joshua, but I might
lost
change.
A lot of weight though. You know.
I might change my pick.
He's a
tomorrow, but I'm not sure right now.
He's coming into the fight with weighing what 221 or 240.
240. Usyk is 221.
Usyk is 221, the heaviest. But I think that's played a part in it. but I just think the power from Joshua. I don't think you lose a lot from losing your weight as far as power goes. But I gotta go with the man Joshua on this one.
Okay, so I'm gonna I had a list of things I was talking about earlier.
Sure.
And I wanted to just like ask you about these things, and you can give your take. And
sure.
All right, so like I don't know if you heard, but apparently according to Eddie Hearn, Demetrius Andrade's next fight is looking like it's gonna be Jason Quigley November 20th in Boston or Providence. What do you think about that? If you have an opinion on the matchup,
I think it's gonna be good for on the positive side. It's gonna be a good fight for Boo Andre because Boo Andre hasn't been active lately because he can't get no fights. So for him to get back in the ring is good, and hopefully he can beat Quigley. But Quigley's not. I think he's so fighter. He's not the best top dog, but I think he will give him the challenge. But I still think Boo Andre will beat him, and I just think that he will beat him however he beats him. But I think that I'm just happy to see Boo in the ring again.
Okay, yeah, me definitely happy to see Boo active again. What do you think about let's see what else am I talking about? What do you think of? Oh, here you go. So like the Joe Smith fight with Umar Salam that got scrapped because of COVID. They pushed it back, not happening. But to replace it, I like this matchup. I want to see what you think. It's the replacement fight for that card is Jose Cepeda taking on Josue Vargas.
That's a good fight.
It's a good fight.
Yeah. That's a war fight. I think that's pretty good. There's two fighters there that are animals that can come in there and warriors, and I think that that sounds like an exciting fight to me right off the bat.
It's a good matchup. I like that matchup because I feel like it's two fighters that got a lot to prove.
Yeah,
like Cepeda,
right.
He's kind of he's a weird guy because he's like, he always says, I don't believe in myself. But he's like one of the best 140 fighters in the world.
Maybe that's a mind thing for him where it helps him get his mind track, and that's just motivates him.
And then Josue Vargas, I don't know, man. I'm just not I'm not a fan of his style like that.
Yeah,
he's boring as hell. But this is a chance for Josue Vargas to get a big win.
Both of them fighting, and both that's a challenge. I like that fight.
All right, and then I actually have good news for you. I don't know if you heard about this. Riddick Bowe got pulled from the card.
Yeah, I read about that. I think that's the best thing that could ever happen to him. We seen what happened to Holyfield. Even though Drill is saying that they might have another thing for Holyfield. I hope not. I think it's better that they stop that from Bowe. Bowe's been affected a lot. We've seen Bowe for the longest time, and the most important thing is your health.
Yeah, Sun's cards on God says Usyk has no chance. This is a mismatch.
I'm not going to say that anybody gets in the ring, the quality he has. I mean, I was watching Holyfield, too. Holyfield came out and said that he does have a chance. And who better to tell him that than Holyfield was a cruiserweight and came up and heavyweight and did what he had to do.
Hyro said, what's up, Pops? Have you seen my... No, he hasn't seen it yet, Hyro. I got to show him. He made this video, and he used...
Yeah. Remember that time?
I haven't showed it to you.
Don't worry, Hyro. Before we go for the live, you'll see. I'll tell you about it. Well, I did get my van fixed, though. He
did get his van. For those of you asking, he did get the van fixed. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, man, like, again, program reminder will be live here 7 o'clock, probably to, like, noon, like, late at night for the card on UFC Fight Pass and the card on Showtime. So, listen, man, we putting in that double shift.
Putting in the work, baby.
Putting in that work. Yeah. Another thing I want to ask you about, Pops. Now, I know this topic is probably gonna get you fired up, and it'll probably get the people fired up. Okay. But what did you make of, like, at the press conference with Canelo and Plant? You know, what do you make about when people say, "Oh, well, Canelo doesn't understand the meaning of the word motherfucker. That's why he got mad." Do you believe that Canelo actually understands the meaning of the word motherfucker, or do you think that he just kind of used that to deflect from the fact that he was being accused of using PEDs?
I read about that and they were saying that, but honestly, I think when you come up learning the English language, you sometimes don't know how to use certain words in a proper place where we could use it. The word, how you word it, how you phrase it, and I think that he doesn't understand it. The way he understood was wrong. But at the same time, I will say this, and Caleb Plant called him out on this. He said, you could call motherfucker to Adrian Bougon and get him out and keep him out the fucking conference that you had, the press conference you had. But yet, it didn't bother you when you said it to him, but it's gonna bother you when I said it, when I just came out and just said it, not even referring to your mother. You know what I mean? So I think it's a bunch of bullshit. I think he just doesn't understand the way to use that word.
Yeah.
And I'll say that, and the reason I support that is because while we're going to live, I looked up some other channels, and I forgot what channel was in Spanish, and they were trying to tell him, like, you know, you use that word improperly in grammar. You don't understand what it means. He was not referring to your mother. He was basically what politely using is you're a son of a bitch, and I'm gonna fuck you up either way. That's what he meant.
Yeah. So do you think
But I'm gonna tell you this: I've been watching Plant. I watched him against Regino Medina. I watched him against the German guy that was mandatory.
Boots? What's
Boots fights? I watched him against
Usyk.
Yeah, Usyk. And let me tell you guys, for you guys to say that he won't be able to handle Canelo's power, you guys are fucking wrong. If you watch rounds 9 through 12 against Usyk, he's a big guy. He was going for the power. He would beat the fuck out of Caleb, punching him hard, and Caleb was taking him and moving and switching to the side and throwing his jab and leading with his jab the whole time. So I'm gonna knock that fucking thing out. Those Mexican fighters that Caleb Plant fought, yeah, you all gonna argue the point he wasn't Canelo, but they still have the Mexican style coming forward. Medina tried to come forward, try to do something.
Usyk is not Mexican.
No, I'm talking about Medina now.
Porky Medina.
Yeah, Porky Medina. He comes forward, he does everything, and let me tell you, he did everything he was supposed to do to win that fight. And if you watch that fight closely, that's the same thing he's gonna lose to fucking Canelo. So Canelo shit about calling him out and this and that. The problem with this, Caleb Plant got under his skin, and he had no other answers and anything to say with it. So no, it's a bunch of bullshit. What he
The truth says, son of a bitch is still talking about his mom.
No, he's talking about.
Oh no. I think he's saying that he's still talking. That Canelo's still talking about his mom.
Oh yeah, if he takes it out,
like Canelo, like no, literally, he went on Twitter. He's talking about don't talk about my mom. He went on Twitter and tweeted don't talk about my mom. But again, and then he did an interview yesterday, and he said that his mom thanked him for sticking up for her. But,
but they don't understand. They don't understand certain words used in certain phrases.
And now
you can use it for different meanings.
And now Canelo wins. They're gonna say, man, Canelo Alvarez, he cares about women's rights. Yeah. He cares about women. I'm serious.
Listen, you all sleeping again, and I'm gonna go back.
No, I think he's agreeing with it.
No. I'm talking about the statement that Caleb Plant made. Canelo used the wrong phrase in the wrong meaning, and he didn't understand this way. He did not understand the context of it. Let's see like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
One SSS asked a question for you. He says, Pops, why did you get rid of the Toyota?
I shouldn't have got rid of the fucking Toyota. I'll tell you that. Toyota, you know what? As you get older, you become more wise, or you just wake up and a rock hits you in the head and wakes you the fuck up, and maybe you guys might make fun of that and say, oh, well, they're gonna wake up with the fight with Canelo Plant. But I've done that Toyota. I'm watching one of these big channels on Instagram, just check out 4 or 5 million things, and he says Toyota and Honda are the best cars to buy. They break down the lease and everything. I got a Honda Odyssey.
What about Mitsubishi?
Fuck Mitsubishi. Fuck Nissan. You buy those cars, so good for you guys, but they have a lot of problems with the motors constantly.
I know their tracks, that's why I asked you.
Yeah.
Suzuki.
Nah, Suzuki. He actually had a Suzuki.
Oldsmobile.
Yeah, he said the top cars. He says it's Toyota, Honda, and Suzuki. Something.
You sure you don't want to buy another red Pontiac? Listen,
no.
For those of you who don't know, Pops back in like 2004, like when I was a kid, Pops used to have. Every car he had was red. So like I remember when I was
that's right.
when I was like 4 or 5 years old, he had a 1999 red Ford Escort. Then after a couple of years, he got rid of that and got and then he got himself a 2004 Pontiac Sunfire. I used to love that car.
Yeah, that was a good car.
And then this motorcycle dude ran into the side of it, and then he got all mad and stuff. And then his girlfriend thought, that was crazy.
Then we had I also had a 1980 Pontiac Sunbird.
When was that?
I had that's the one I had real small. You was small then. It was a small car. It was just a hatchback back in the day. I had 6 by. I had my booty music in there. I had the rap in there. I had my 12s in there. Boom, boom, boom.
Back in those days, what kind of music were you listening to?
Oh, it was everything. It was party music. They had I like the old music, but they had party music. They had the rap. They had the DMC. They had all kinds. But they also had a great rap when the rap was just coming up, and I had a great. That little Pontiac Summer took me all over the place.
Hyro says Mitsubishi sucked. My mom got one.
Thank
It's
you.
trash. My dad's got 2 Toyota Tacomas.
There you go. The big he realized, like I said, Toyota.
Pete says, I remember the Pontiac. Listen, man, Pop, and back in 04, Pop was the man. He had the. I remember we went to the dealership. He bought that. Was that new? Was that a new car?
Which one?
Pontiac?
Yeah.
That shit was new. It was new. It was. I remember that. I don't think I'd ever been like in a brand new car. Like, it was that nice at that point in my life. I'm like, man, this is nice. This is nice. It had like a. I think it was like one of the first cars I'd ever been in that had like it had a CD player and it had like the digital radio. And they didn't have those back then. So I thought we were rich. My mom.
That was the time when bass was big down here in South Florida. Bassing, boom, boom, boom.
Oh yeah. Back in those days, like
12, 6x9.
Back in those days, like in South Florida,
school, you were the big dude. You were the big campus.
Back in those days, like living in Dania Beach, I remember. I remember so clearly. I'd be sleeping right, and we didn't live in the ghetto, but we lived kind of close to it. And I remember the freaking the big ass Chevys with the candy paint.
Yeah.
Big 24 inch rims, 32 inch rims.
They still get them down.
No, they still got them.
Yeah,
they still got them.
yeah.
I'm talking about 04, 05, the mid 2000s.
Yeah.
I'd be sleeping right, and all you hear from
Yeah.
you would just hear the trunk rattling. You would see the trunk rattling.
I remember we went to when I was working security when you were a little kid doing 24/7s. We went to one of the centers for the Miami Dolphins. He left his car and he had to fill out the airport. He had a fucking nice Chevy USV SUV, and he had fucking nothing but 12s, one of the biggest speakers in there. I said, this guy was boom. And I always found a check for him for like $300,000. We found a check basically for $314,000 deposited from the NFL.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You should have taken it.
Yeah.
Ordinary P says the Mexicans still drive those Mitsubishi trucks for doing yards around here.
Yeah.
Central California.
Yeah. I mean, they're good trucks, but I'll tell you now, after doing all my research, I got Toyota, man. I'm Honda. That's the only thing I'm going to stick with now.
Ordinary Pete also says Pops was hitting more skins than needles back in the day. I can tell.
Oh, man, you know what I'm saying? Man.
Canelo. Oh, go ahead.
No.
Canelo has no respect for PBC and Showtime. Well, listen, if you don't respect PBC Showtime, listen, he gonna bow down and kiss the ring of Al Heyman.
Listen, I'm gonna
He's going to at some point.
And I'm gonna tell you, man, this fight, like I've really been doing my study on Caleb Plant. The movement that Caleb Plant does, he comes with that the left jab. He throws that jab.
Did you watch the Carlos Galvan fight yet?
No, I'm about to check it out. But I've been doing this. I think I'm telling you guys, for all you Canelo fans, I'll leave it nice. You guys are in trouble. Caleb Plant is gonna win this fight.
Yeah.
Watch the Mexicans he fought, and you're gonna find out. Suzuki, whatever his name was again, I can't say the same thing. He's Spanish too. I can't believe.
He's from Bolivia.
Yeah, Bolivia. That guy was big. He's big.
Rangy, tall.
Yeah, tall.
Punkin'
Big.
punch.
And he was a big, broad shoulder. He was bigger than Canelo. The knockouts he brought in, and he was trying to get that knockout punch. And guess what?
I'm gonna tell you this.
You know what I like about Caleb too? Anytime they would throw a punch, like a direct punch to him, he knows how to side back and underneath like that and get him onto the side. Yeah, slip. What's that now?
Usyk fighting David Benavidez soon. I know not a lot of people are excited for it, but I wouldn't be the least bit. I think Benavidez will win, but I wouldn't be the least bit surprised if that winds up being a very hard fight for.
They said that I'll make it for the Usyk and Josh. I was watching the thing. It said the same thing, like even, not even like 15-15, close to being real close.
Yeah.
So I think I ain't discrediting Usyk. I think Usyk didn't have to bring it in. Don't get it twisted. That guy, what I like about Usyk, he's like me. He's a fucking clown. He likes to clown and have fun with everything. But when it comes to fighting, he's gonna be tough. But both are skills for skills, man. I give the edge to. I hope I give the edge to Joshua Reddick.
Ordinary Pete says Pops was about to tell some nasty flashbacks, and listen, he can't say that.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah, go.
That's for another live. That's another live for another day.
Yeah.
That curl he had last year, Pop was clean. That blue color was nice.
Yeah. But yeah, so I'm excited for this fight this week, and I'm not lying to you. I think isn't Callum Smith fighting too on that fight?
Yes, Callum Smith. Listen, Callum Smith, mate, he's fucking one of the best middleweights in the world.
And he said, he said that he wants to. Well, now he's at 175.
Yeah.
He wants to. He would like get a rematch with Canelo, like down the future,
Man.
I don't think it's gonna happen.
Hell no.
No, I'm just telling you, but that's what first I gotta see how he does. I think
I guarantee you, if Canelo wins this fight against Plant, that'll be one of the first fights he want to make.
Yeah, of course. Who doesn't? But what I'm getting at is that he's gonna. I think on the McGirt, it's a big thing. He did the right thing coming here to. I think a good American coach that can teach him different ways to style to fight, make him better than just European, or what you would call it, style.
Canelo's favorite English curse word is motherfucker. The irony behind him. Wait, the irony behind him so-called not understanding the meaning of the term is hilarious.
Yeah, but listen to this. But I'm not Mexican. So I don't know what this words mean. But I know it's probably motherfucker, fuck you, son of a bitch, and so forth, so forth. Pinche. That's the whole damn freaking thing.
They do say that.
Pinche this, pinche that, pinche blah, 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 pinche. So so they were cursing and everything. So listen, man, it's just like Caleb Plant says, and I've been saying along to BT. I says Caleb Plant got underneath the skin like a thorn on a red rose. You ever have a thorn stick in your finger on your head? That shit ain't no joke. He's got his mind game. Caleb Plant's gonna fuck up. I will say it again, so you guys listen to it again. So when we do win, we celebrate. Caleb Plant's gonna fuck up Canelo. All you Canelo fans, I love you guys. But I go with it.
Brennan Smith says, "What Pops? What chance do you give Alexander Usyk?"
I'm gonna give it. It's a 60. I'm gonna say 60-40.
For what, Joshua?
Yeah, for Joshua. Only because Joshua got the power. I'm not saying Usyk don't got the power, but he's a cruiserweight coming up to heavyweight. I gotta get the power.
The fanboy killer says Plant is going to sleep. Stop playing.
No, he ain't playing. Might be the Cuban coffee, but I ain't playing. Go check out the films. I'm telling you, me and BT talk about this all the time. In boxing, there's two things that are very important in boxing: the mind and what's it, mental and the physical part.
Yep, mind, body, and spirit.
And that and just the fact that Canelo animated himself the way he did and got into his case. I'm telling you, that's already. Everybody say, "Oh no," and I hear this from all you disillusional Canelo fans. Oh, Canelo punked him out. Caleb Plant was a punk because he just slapped him. No, Caleb Plant got in his skin. If you see who reacted first the whole time in all the press conference, fucking Canelo. When they wanted to face off in the presser for the greenback one, whatever it was, the presser, who backed out first? It wasn't Caleb. Yeah, that mind game thing it's got Canelo fucked up.
Jairo says, "Pops, Eddie also said the word American in Spanish, but that's not what it meant."
What happened?
Pops, Eddie also said the word. What do you mean, Jairo? Clarify your comment.
Well, whatever it meant, tell him to clarify. But I'm just telling you, if you're talking about how Canelo used it, he used it in the wrong context, and he did not understand the way Caleb Plant used it in the context that Caleb Plant used it.
Ordinary Pete says, "I'm Puerto Rican and Greek, and for the first years that I lived in California, I thought my name was Pinche Puto."
Oh man, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I just.
Jairo said it was the gay slang word.
Which one? A pinche?
No.
Which one? Patuleco. Patuleco, Puerto Rico, Patuleco. Tú eres un maricón. I mean, you know.
Play with those legendary. Yeah, they were great mind games.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm telling you right now. Canelo is even right now. He's turning on his bed. Yeah. I mean, I watch him work out. He's animated. And what's funny, I was watching the
Jairo said it was maricón.
Oh, maricón, palo.
Yo,
yeah,
freaking Eddie. What's his name? Yeah. Eddie also he was cursing up a storm.
Yeah, and the whole. I think somebody said I don't know how true that Canelo fired is translated because he wouldn't translate that in English.
Yeah,
he couldn't. But again, I want to say when you're learning a new language, whether it's from America, whatever, you're gonna have a problem. But Canelo was working his ass off yesterday, doing all this weights, and he's animated. You could tell that he really wants to fuck up Caleb Plant. And somebody said, don't matter how much power he got, it ain't gonna help him when he gets the speed and the full movement that Caleb Plant.
You know what's crazy? A lot of people were saying, "Oh well, Canelo countered the thing of Plant," and no, he didn't counter. Plant actually landed. He actually landed. He landed the slap. It landed.
Listen,
which means that it was so fast.
Yeah.
He landed the slap so quickly.
Yeah.
And we thought he missed.
Listen, it don't matter.
Canelo in trouble.
The bottom line is he stirred that soup that's hot, and he got a boiling soup over the pot. What I'm getting at is when he pushed Caleb Plant And this is the problem that all Canelo fans don't want to understand. Canelo's been punking all his fucking opponents since this fight right here. The only one that got enough balls to stay up with Canelo and his gimmicks is friggin' Caleb Plant. You remember when Caleb Plant said, "Oh, you think it's funny?" And he says, "Yeah." He said, "Whatever." Yeah,
a little bit.
And that's it. So he thought Canelo was gonna shut up. Oh, he has something coming to him. I'm telling you, Caleb Plant, he's bringing that mental game in, and he's got the edge, and he's gonna win that fight.
Ordinary Pete says, "LOL, I've been called Maricon too many times. Man, I love the Mexicans. Same here, man."
Yeah, I mean, every nationality got a name for it, but I mean, you be careful when they call it that because you don't know they might be attracted to you. You have to give them that right hook you got. I'm right back.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. How about the single tail female flag fight? The fight being pushed back or is it pushed back?
For the 6th time?
I don't know if I was reading about it.
It's a shit show. Oh, man. But yeah, it's your boy BT. Oh my God. I'm not used to being up so early. I was up like 5 in the morning. I gotta start being up early more often. It's good. It's good for me. But yeah, man, it's your boy BT, the untouchable True School Sports Empire. We're here at Pops. Pops is here. What is it? It's 12:42 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So it's no longer the morning. Probably get out the live within the next 20 minutes or so, because we'll have to come back live at 7.
I don't know if it's still being pushed back, but they were talking about it being pushed back. So
yeah,
I mean that fight is the longer it drags on, the more I think I wouldn't sign with Triller. Triller know what the fuck they're doing. Honestly. Yeah. Keen
says Caleb Plant landed, but it wasn't a full palm slap. The fingers touched the face though. That qualifies as a slap. That's a fact. And like it was like 3 or 4 of his fingers. It was more than half of his fingers.
No matter how you look at it, you poke the bear. I'm not talking about Canelo. I'm talking about the other side. And this is what you're gonna get. It's the only opponent. Go look back at all the press conferences besides Mayweather. Go look at all the press conferences and see how animated you see Canelo. You don't see him like nothing. He looked like a bitch sitting against Callum Smith. He just sat there and his press conference didn't do nothing. But what Caleb Plant is doing, he's doing it right. He let him know, I'm coming here to fuck you up. So yeah.
One thing I ask you, Pops.
Yeah.
And some people here may not like this, but I wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
What do you think about Deontay Wilder all of a sudden going full Nigerian? You seen that? Have y'all seen that?
Listen, I don't know what. I respect you for whoever you are.
He says from the Igbo tribe of Nigeria.
If you do your background family history tree and you find out, oh, well, I got a little bit of this, or I got a little bit of that, or you want to be this, let's face it, he's fucking American from Alabama. That's all I'm gonna say. Everything behind all that shit he's doing, all this guy does, and no disrespect to it, that's what he believes. All this guy does is become more delusional. You ever see a balloon when you blow it up little by little? The balloon gets bigger. The more you put in it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Well, he's just fucking full. He's so full of shit, it's not even ridiculous. I mean, all the disillusional thing, it's all right to support. We all come from some kind of slavery. We all, a background of black people. So I'm not hating on that. But what I'm getting at is you have to understand that you're filling up your head with shit that has to. So now you're gonna become a Nigerian warrior coming into the ring. And when Fury knocks you the fuck out, what are you gonna be then? The Nigerian warrior that got fucked up? The reality is he needs a lot of help. Now, I think if he loses this fight right here, Brandon, I don't think to have discussed before. I think he's gonna be very depressed. I pray for him. I love. He's one of the best.
I think he's already there.
Yeah,
I don't think he's. I think he's already there.
I pray for him. He's got one of the best, and that's this one will never take away from Wilder. He's got one of the best right hand punches in heavyweight. So I'm not taking it in this era. I'm not taking that away. But all this disillusional. Mother fantasy shit you're thinking about and all this other stuff you're building up to it. Then please don't come in the ring with another warrior suit. Please don't use that. I don't.
Well, you know what's funny? Wilder. I don't know if y'all heard this too, but Wilder said that he plans on wearing something special for this fight. Special. He's wearing another costume.
But what he should do is, honestly, my opinion, come in with your fucking boxing shorts on, come in with your boxing robe on. And that's it. Because all this stuff you have to do, you can still support what you want to, your agenda or whatever you want to support after the fight, because you're already bringing it to the platform. Respect to you for that. But you should focus more on how you're going to fuck up Fury. That's what I want to know.
Well, he has. Malik Scott said, Deontay Wilder, he built a ring in his backyard. He built a whole training facility to commit a homicide.
Let me tell you right now, all this stuff they're talking about, all of them are supporting him, and I can understand that the team, they got to support him when he says whatever. He's Mr. Bossman, he pays him.
He's a fucking cheater.
So,
that's right.
Yeah, so all I'm saying is, when it comes down to it, Wilder just better forget about all the stuff he wants to do, all the showboating he wants to do, and focus on the technical, the skills of boxing, and focus on trying to beat Fury. That's all I'm saying.
Key Mitch says that Daniel Jacobs didn't back down. He was just weak altogether.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, okay.
Yeah. See, I actually got a video coming out on this soon. He says if it's a really close fight, I can see PBC giving Plant the decision. I think that's exactly what's gonna happen. I think it'll. Well, no. Personally, I don't think it's gonna be a close fight. I'm telling y'all the score in advance. It'll be 117-111, Caleb Plant. But in the event that it's not, because it might not be, but if it is, if it's a close fight and Caleb Plant actually did enough to win the fight, I actually think he could get the decision because he has Al Haymon behind him. And when you have Al Haymon behind you, you can never ever underestimate the power of Al Haymon.
Yeah, one of the comments that I was reading, we made a good point on one of our videos that he came out and says because the conspiracy you're saying because Canelo is the big money winner in boxing, and because he brings all this money. Look at the reality. He was telling me they're going to get the decision. If Caleb will come in here and does something like drastically lead or whatever, he said that decision is going to right now is right set up to go to Canelo. Which I mean, hey, I'm not going to go with that, but I respect your opinion and what you said. I'm still going with Caleb. I'm going with the motherfucking underdog of Tennessee.
I was watching shout out to my guy. I was watching Bruce's channel, Bruce Vane.
Okay.
I've been watching Bruce for years.
Right.
I remember when Bruce used to come on my videos and Bruce didn't have a channel. So
yeah.
Shout out to Bruce Vane. But I was watching Bruce Vane and Bruce Vane was talking about how basically Caleb Plant has opened up a big can of worms talking about this PEDs and drug testing thing. And he's saying that now that he's done that, he's gonna have things stacked against his favor even more because the boxing industry doesn't like that. The boxing industry is taboo. Doesn't really get talked about by fighters.
Right, you're probably right what you're saying.
Not like that, and especially not when it's like to the money making machine of the entire sport.
Yeah, you're probably saying that, and you're right what you're saying. But at the same token, in this situation, you got Divo Canelo intimidating all his opponents, getting whatever the fuck he wants, whether it's in contractual talks, whether it was this fight, another fight, or whatever, and he gets everything, and he's just a spoiled bitch, and he continue crying like a bitch, and this and that. You have to come call him on that, especially if you know it's like you being a robber. You go into a job and you have on your resume you a thief, this and that, and now they're gonna promote you to this, and then you call them out and say no, your background says this, and that. Because basically, by Caleb Plant is saying he's stating a fact. Exactly when Brian Custer turned out to him and asked a question, what did Caleb say? I didn't say that. That's the fact. It's already written in there. So whether it's a taboo or not, the bottom line is if we don't shine light on this. It's going to continue on.
Christopher Londell says, go on, Pops. Tell it to the people.
Yeah, amen.
Tell them how you really feel.
Yeah, man, I'm just tired of the bullshit. The bottom line is PEDs, fucking people trying to get advantage. And I'm not saying this good at Canelo. I mean, Caleb Plant either. The people always take the light out of Canelo and say, oh, well, you're the drug cheat who created the drug on content. But that's not the issue here. The issue is, who got caught? It's like anything else. If you get caught doing something you're supposed to do, why the fuck sit there and try to not admit it and try to get your mind, people away from it? You can't. You're upset and you're reacting negatively because it's the friggin' truth that you can't not stand the truth. Caleb Plant's got you in your mind, Canelo, and you're getting fucked up.
Oof.
Yeah.
Well, one SSS doesn't agree with this. He said, BT, I like Plant, but this is not a close fight. Plant has a lot of hand injuries, and he bleeds too much, man.
Like you said in the interview, this guy has come 17 years, all the way from Tennessee, going up Tennessee, doing what he's got to do. And if you remember what he said in his press conference, I will die and do what I got to do here.
He did say. Yeah. He said many years ago. He said.
What did he say?
When a warrior, he says, when a warrior goes to war, he must dig 2 graves because most people only dig one for themselves. You got to dig one for the opponent, one for yourself. I'll take his last breath in that ring. So I truthfully think he's ready to die.
I think he's ready. I'm gonna tell Canelo's gonna come in. He's gonna try to get him in the corner. and try to throw those big hard punches to the liver. I'm telling you right now, he better hope he can get one of those punches, because I'm gonna tell you right now, the speed, the slip to right, left to right by Caleb Plant, the way he moves when he throws a double jab, he just doesn't throw a regular double jab. He fucks you up with the jab. He goes up to the face and he comes up with an uppercut, and then he can go to the liver.
I just do it.
He goes like this. So I'm telling you right now, you all better not sleep on Caleb Plant. I don't care what you want to tell me about Canelo. Canelo has never had an opponent that can stand up, that have enough balls to stand up to him and talk to him and press conference like that. Besides Mayweather.
Besides Floyd,
yeah.
Well, Floyd didn't have to.
No, but Floyd did say, like, when we watched fight, Floyd did come out. Floyd didn't have to. But what I'm getting at is, you guys got to understand, the mind game, people, you guys, all you Canelo fans are freaking. I don't know what planet you guys from, where you guys dreaming from. You guys are saying that Canelo won that what you would call it. He didn't win shit. He's reacting because he's wrong, and he can't admit he's wrong, and he's got to try to persuade it to a different mentality. So he didn't win nothing. So all he's gonna win when it comes when he fights Caleb Plant is a consolation prize for him being second and Caleb Plant being number one.
One SSS is Plant is too tough for his own well-being. He makes a lot of mistakes and he gets hit a lot. I don't like Canelo. Plant moving is bad. Is a bad move because his cardio isn't his best. Well, I'll be honest. I don't think we're gonna see Caleb Plant fight the style that we're accustomed to seeing him fight this fight. You know, different fighters bring out different challenges and different attributes in other fighters. And with Caleb Plant knowing what he's up against, that's not just as far as Canelo, but I'm talking about the whole system of boxing, the whole establishment of boxing. He knows he's up against it. And with him knowing that, and with him knowing that moving around in the ring for the whole fight would get Canelo in a rhythm, and eventually he would probably cut the ring off, he's going to have to, in my opinion, he's going to have to show something different in this fight. And I think whether it be early, middle, or late, at some point in this fight, Caleb Plant will fight Canelo. He will fight him.
Listen, that's one thing I forgot to bring out when I was watching his fight spread.
And he will succeed. He
actually stays in the middle of the ring. If you want him to fight with you, you throw at him in the middle of the ring, Caleb Plant will answer you back and then slip back out.
Because look, he's the younger fighter. He's a natural 168 pounder. He's longer. He's faster. Almost all the attributes, apart from experience, are in his favor, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So I mean, it's a great. However you want to cut it, I mean, it's a great fight. I just think the mental game goes to Caleb Plant, and I think I've got it. And you guys, I know there's a lot of people because I've come on there some other channels that I want Caleb Plant because of this and that. But I think it's going to be a different. You're right. It's going to be a different fight. It won't be the same Caleb Plant. I just hope that he trains more, gets that stamina going, and make sure he goes past the 8 rounds and do what he's got to do. And I think that Canelo Plant's going to come in and try to walk him to the corner and try to hand out rib dinners. But it's not happening. I just think Caleb Plant is too slick and too quick. Honestly,
that's it.
That's what I see. And
he's the biggest. He's the bigger guy that can box on the outside. He can box in the range, and
right?
He can exchange. I don't think he should exchange too much of Canelo.
Oh no,
because that's giving him. Listen, that's not giving him the best chance to win.
Yeah,
but I think he's good at picking spots.
When I was watching him against Usyk, you're right. I have to agree with you. He cannot stay in there long and get those punches to the head like he was getting. But he was still going to move out there real quick. But if he stays in there long and Canelo can get him, so be it.
He ain't natural, BT. I know you hate Canelo, but look at the facts. I wish you the best, but don't bet on the fight. I want you to be secured. Well, look, I'm going to bet on the fight. It's not going to be a lot of money, but I am going to bet on the fight. My mind is made up. I'm betting on the fight. I'm probably only going to place like a $50 bet because literally, if you bet $50 on Caleb Plant, you're probably going to wind up getting like $200 back. So it won't be a big bet.
Yeah,
but people keep saying, "Oh yeah," because literally every time I tell someone that Caleb Plant's gonna win, this fight more than ever, they say, "Oh, you think he's gonna win? Let's bet on that. Let's bet on." So yeah, I'm gonna do it legitimately. I'm gonna take when I go to Vegas. The first place I'm gonna go when I get to Vegas is I'm gonna go to Circa. I'm going to Circa Sportsbook. Put my little $50 bet down. I'll be good to go.
Yeah, I mean,
if I lose, I lose. It's not a lot of money, but if I win, I'm good.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, people you can't always styles make fights, and that's a cliche that everybody says, and I'm telling you, whatever you guys whatever you guys want to say about Canelo, I respect you guys, whether you're right or wrong, or you're right or I'm wrong. What I'm saying is, this hype train, no, I'm not saying hype train because he's not a hype train. Let me retract it. That train has been running for a long time, and he's been rolling over everybody that he's choosing and everything. He chose the wrong opponent when he came to kill the plant.
Absolutely, man. So
yeah, and I think let's get back to the Usyk fight. I think Usyk, I think what Usyk's got to do, he's gonna have to make. And I agree with I'm going with Teddy Atlas said. I have to agree with that. He's gonna have to make Joshua throw his power punches, and he's gonna have to lean more to the right, and make him miss, and then come in with his left and hit him with the liver, and vice versa. Josh's got to do the same thing with Usyk. He's gonna have to make him throw what his strengths, and then move to the side and the same. I think this fight for me, because I consider both of these guys very skilled as far as fighting, the skill for part of it. So I can't wait for that.
Here you are. I like how everybody bring this up.
Yeah.
See, this is exactly why I don't like getting predictions wrong. Because when you get them like really, really wrong,
yeah,
you never hear the end of it.
It's all right.
He said you were caught up with Jason Rosario, and look what happened. Don't let your hatred for Canelo get the best of you. That's a bit different than this. That situation and this situation is a bit different. That was more of like a personal bias because I knew Rosario and I just saw him train. A lot of people can laugh at me, but he looked great in training. He looked great in sparring.
Yeah. Listen, I will put it like this. I had Banana also. I met Banana. I thought he was gonna do something.
I don't know Caleb Plant. I'm just going strictly out boxing. He's the younger, bigger, more active 168 pounder of the two. Most times when you get a smaller fighter who moves up, the smaller fighter throws more punches. He's more active. This is one of the rare times where the bigger man is also the more active man.
So basically, but we can't take a light from Canelo. Canelo's been the most active fighter.
To me, it's a pick 'em.
Yeah,
I know the odds say it's not a pick 'em fight, but to me, it's a pick 'em fight. Yeah. I don't think you're wrong either way.
Yeah, but not to take light with Canelo. Canelo to me in this era has been the most active fighter on the book. He's been fighting a lot, one after another. Not a lot of fighters have been doing that. So I gotta give him that respect to Canelo. But I'm not trying to line away from Killer Plant.
I'm second guessing my Plant pick now that Pops is taking him.
Hey, so basically what you're saying, every time I pick somebody, I'm wrong. It's all good. I mean, you have your opinion. I love you for how you feel, and go who you want to go with. I mean, everybody's picking Canelo. Let's say the majority of people are picking Canelo. He's the favorite. He's the train. He's a workhorse. But
One Double S says that's not true. You met him in Miami and have a video talk with him. No. I didn't meet Caleb Plant in Miami. I saw him in Miami. I saw him training and stuff. At his media workout. I met him actually in Vegas. And I met him. I don't know him. I don't know like his people like that. Like
he's
the Rosario thing is different. I actually know his people. So that was just me being biased. Yeah, I'll be honest. That fight was literally if there was one fight where I can say, you know what, I made a big mistake of letting my personal bias sway how I felt. It was that fight because truthfully, I shouldn't really pick Charlo. But this fight isn't one of those cases. Yeah, I met Caleb Plant, but it's not the same thing.
Yeah, but I think like I said, it's gonna be a great fight. I know a lot of you guys are waiting for Canelo to come up with a big win.
But I'm gonna tell you this.
Yeah, I love it. I don't care.
I'm gonna be in Vegas regardless. Yeah. So I'll be very easy to find.
And I'll take the
coming out of that fight.
And I'll take the good with the bad. If I'm wrong, if I've been wrong, okay, fine. But I'm going with my heart. I'm going with what I believe. That doesn't mean I don't disrespect your opinion. I'm just going with my opinion, and I'm gonna argue my opinion because this is what I feel I want to support. Yeah.
But listen, on that note, guys, I think I'm gonna wrap it up because we do gotta go live. A little bit. I'm gonna go live for the card later on.
You see, Mangia, and what's his name fighting too? You know,
Rosado, yeah.
That's where he signed. Rosado and Mangia.
He said, "You still met him. You don't, Cholatito. I pray for you, BT." I met Cholatito like 3 times. I met Cholatito more than Caleb Plant and Rosario combined. $50 is good for food. That is a lot of money. Yeah, but you know what's more money? $200 when Caleb Plant wins.
Hey man, that's why it's called a gamble. You win some and you lose some.
I don't know. I might not bet on it. I don't know. But right now, I think I'm probably gonna bet on it. Yeah. He said, I still have that J-Rock fight saved in my DVR.
Hey, J-Rock's supposed to come back to fighting soon, too. I think he's supposed to fight, too.
Yeah.
J-Rock.
But listen, man,
Anyways.
on that note, I'm going to get up on out of here. You guys take care of yourself. Be blessed. We'll see you guys at 7 o'clock.
Thank you for your comments.
And shout out to everybody.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys later on. So, yeah, like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me. But I'm just kicking Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys.